Here bringing another video on information technology. I hope you're having a good day. Happy Saturday, and let's do Comptia training. So usually we do Comptia training. So I hope you guys could join me today. It should be fun and interesting. Um, this will definitely help out people that are new to IT. So hopefully this helps you out in some shape or form. I hope you guys are having a great day. Um, I hope you guys are having a good week actually. So let's see who joins. As soon as we find out who joins, I'll start doing the invite, and we'll get this going. If that makes sense. So, hey Tim, how you doing? Remind me, I'm drinking coffee. Let me put the YouTube link over here on my Discord. So if you guys are not on Discord, you guys are missing out. I have a Discord channel, and I'm also on Job Skill Shares Discord channel as well. So if you're not on Discord, you are missing out on a lot of stuff. I'm just letting you know right now. Obviously, we're gonna put the Discord channels on the chat box, but we basically go over a lot of stuff while on Discord, if that makes sense. So it's basically what it is. So hello, hi guys. Hey Steven. Hey Tim. Hey Robin. Hey Joe. I don't know if that's right. Okay. Hi Victoria. Hey Bowling. Yeah. So if you're not on my Discord, you are missing out because we go over a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff. Even on Job Skill Shares Discord, and I'm also on another Discord. I'm on a bunch of different Discords, so you're missing out if you're not in any of my Discords, any of these Discords. So I'm just waiting for more people to join. Just give me a second. I'll shoot over the link shortly. Just give me a second. Yes, I have my coffee. Yes. Kevtech lead by providing good IT support. This is a coffee cup that I made. Obviously, it's not merchandise. I'm not trying to sell merchandise, but this is a cup that I have. It has smiley face because I'm always happy when it comes to IT support. So definitely something you will probably enjoy as a cup at some point when I make I guess a like merchandise if that was the case. So this is my cup. Yeah, so waiting for more people to join. So just give it a second. I want that cup. Yeah, just give it a sec. I'm gonna send the link shortly. So just bear with me. Let's see. I'm gonna do copy, paste. What's the password? Let me get the password real quick. Let's see. Put it over here. I could barely see it. All right. Okay. All right, got it. Do this. Password 7540667540066. So that's the password 7540066, and that's the link. If you guys want to join, hop right in. All right. Just letting everyone in right now. So, Steven. Steven setting up his audio. How are you, Steven? I can't hear you. Oh, I hear something now.
Hey, Kev, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you loud and clear. How you doing, man?
All right, yourself?
Good.
How was your week?
Very busy.
Me too. I'm drained from it a little bit.
Yeah, man, I'm in the same boat as you. I got killed because I was on a 5 hour call.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the company apps that they use. So like you have to follow it a certain way to install the apps.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise it doesn't work. If you skip a step, then you can't install the app. It just doesn't work.
It almost sounds like like installing one of like the printer drivers or something like that. You got to do step by step. If you skip a step, it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So like you have to install .NET framework, then you have to restart the computer. After installing that frameworks, it'll prompt you to restart. So you install that, and then you have to install C++ redistribution. Then after that, you have to run a .bat file from the company itself. They have a .bat file. You run that in, and then after that, it executes a bunch of installs automatically with the .bat file. Then after that, you have to run an install on the share drive, and that share drive is only granted by them, and then you have to run as administrator. You run that, and then you have to run about 3 more installs, and then you run a registry file that installs it on the computer itself. So you have to run 2 registry files that installs on the computer itself. Otherwise, the program doesn't work because it's only embedded for that user or that person. Then after that, you have to grab certain files from the company share drive, and you paste it over to program files x86 on that program you just installed. And then after that, you're able to finally open the application. It's a lot of steps.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you skip a step, it doesn't work. Just doesn't work. I skipped a step by accident. So literally, I skipped a step and I clicked on the app, and then what I got was a black dialog CMD box, and it just disappeared, and then the app went away.
Nice.
So I'm trying to troubleshoot it. I'm like, why is this not working? He's like, Kevin, did you skip step number 4 or 5? I'm like, I think I did. Well, guess what, Kevin? You have to uninstall the whole thing and redo it again. I'm like, what?
Is this a very old application or a brand new one?
No, it's an old application. It actually you have to install Java for it to work.
Wow.
Java 8.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of Microsoft framework, like .3.5 or something like that? 4.2?
It was like 4.
4.7?
4.7. Yeah. Hey, Kevin. Kevin meets Kevin.
Yeah.
So, man, how you doing?
Pretty good.
How was your week?
Yeah, great. Learning stuff, usual.
Yeah.
He just like chilled. Look at him. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Kevin's like, I'm just chilling right now. So.
I actually used that program. You remember that program you handed out a while ago, the password lockout program that you gave me the one time? I actually used that at work. The one girl was getting locked out every day around like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I pulled it up, and it actually pulls up all the servers, which is really cool. I mean, it had about 20, 30 darn servers in there. It's amazing how many servers you actually hit during the damn daytime. I was like, whoa. I was like, I saw, and then it's like, well, it says here the date wise, says here you were, it seemed like it locked you out on this server. No, I don't know what server it was. It doesn't really tell you that. So it doesn't, it just gives you a server name. But then she's like, well, maybe it's this one program. Now I haven't heard from her, so maybe she got it figured out, but I tried to do it on another one too. It doesn't give me, as far as password lockouts, what else does it tell you? The server, of course.
Tells you the username, the person's login name, whatever.
Yeah, and that is what I use from Active Directory. I use like the actual logon, so it actually scans it well.
The last bad password it tells you too. Then there's a last bad password they put in.
That because I have a guy who is his software center or the SCCM client is not working properly. And I don't think they can push it on out through into the SCCM console. They tried it, but it failed. And I have a ticket in now where he's like, he actually works remotely. I'm like, listen, I don't think doing it remotely is going to fix the problem. You need to get inside of an office, hook up with a wire so I can physically get on really get onto that machine and kind of push out the software to you. But he's like 3 hours away from an office. And I'm like, you're gonna have to get in your car and drive somewhere. It's just one of those things, and that's gonna be a tough ticket, but it's being put on me now.
Of course.
I got to be the darn savior, and I'm thinking if I can't save this, I think I just may build him out a brand new computer, a laptop, send it to him, just copy over his information remotely, whatever, and just kind of like deal with it that way. But I don't know what else I can do for the guy. I mean, he's 3 hours away from an office, but and I guess the other teams have tried to hit this, or like, yeah, but he's working remotely. He's only using his darn cell phone as like a hotspot. I'm like, that could be the problem too, trying to push that SCCM application out through the darn network. So it's gonna be very, very interesting.
That was the issue I had with account lockout for someone. So yeah. How you doing? That was the issue I had with someone. They had a so apparently they have two computers and to have two computers, 2 iPhones and a tablet, and they changed their password recently. And
that was what's happening with the one woman. That thing, she called me 2 days in a row saying, "Steven, I'm locked out again." I went Active Directory, the account was locked. I unlocked it. I'm like, try it again. Okay, I'm good. But then all of a sudden, 24 hours later, around the same time, and she's like, "Is it because I'm locking my computer and walking away?" I'm like, that should not trigger you get locked out as long as you can get back in. And I'm like, do you have any other phone? She goes, no. She doesn't use her own personal phone for anything, or no like company phones. So I went inside Credential Manager, and we started wiping out the passwords from in there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, let's try this. Let's try to clean this out. This looks like it has some older dates in here. Let's try this. Now, I didn't hear anything from her on Friday, and I guess she was working on Friday. So I didn't hear anything from her. So maybe we got it. Maybe Credential Manager was triggering something at some point when she was trying to hit some application a couple of times and it was locking her out. So I'm hoping I fixed that problem with her, but I won't know until next week or something. If I don't hear from her all next week, I think I might have caught it. So.
That's what happened to me, man. I literally, I'm not even joking about it. So of course it happens to the CEO of the company. So he's the CEO of the company, but not my. So I work in a company that has multiple companies inside of it. So the other company has their own CEO, and he kept getting locked out. He's in our system now. So we have stealth bits. So stealth bits tells you what app is locking them out, what's locking them out. So basically what I did was I looked at stealth bits. So I'm the only one that has it set up this way. So I have it set up that whenever someone gets locked out on stealth bits, it sends an email and it forwards the email over to my inbox, and it puts it on a folder, on a specific folder. And I have a folder called account lockout. So anyone that gets locked out, it sends an email over to my folder on the account lockout folder on Outlook. I set a rule like that. So
that's nice.
If someone gets locked out, I already know who it is right away. So I look at that folder. I always get like 40, 50 emails a day, and because we have a lot of different companies, and I'm like, right. You're getting locked out of remote desktop. I told you. The other person's like, you're getting locked out of your iPad. You're getting locked out of your iPhone. So I have a specific rule in a specific folder just to let me know who's getting locked out of what. The stealth bits allows you to do that. So I created that, and then basically when a user calls or a client calls, anyone that calls, I already know what's happening, what issue they're having with lockout accounts. So it also tells me too when someone's password is expiring too. I have a rule for that as well on my inbox. So I have a folder. I have 2 separate folders, one for password reset or password getting, expiring basically. And the second folder is when the account's getting locked out. So I noticed that this person has two computers. They have a mobile device. They have another mobile device, and they have another iPad. So I have all these rules created specifically for IT troubleshooting. And basically, I looked at his account. I'm like, I noticed you changed your password on your desktop 1. That's not, you didn't change it on desktop 2. Did you change it on that one? He's like, no, I haven't. So I kept locking him out on desktop 2. So I just restarted the computer, and it just basically it didn't ask for anything. It just synced the new password after restarting the computer. So then 5 minutes later, he was getting locked out again. So he calls us again. He's getting locked out. I'm like, what the heck is locking him out? And I'm looking at it again, and I'm like, I see you have an iPhone, another iPhone, and an iPad. Did you change the password in there? It's like, oh, I didn't do that. So I'm like, all right, go ahead and change it in there. So after doing that, after 5 minutes of troubleshooting with him, I finally got it to work. So everything was synced. So then I'm like, okay, it should be fine now. So then same issue that you're having with Credential Manager. He opens up Outlook. It has a dialog box asking for his username and password. He's like, what the heck is this? And he closes it out, reopens it again. Password box asking for username and password on Outlook. And he keeps doing that over and over again. So then I'm like, huh, you mind if I get on your desktop one again? And I go look at it and I'm like, this is what was happening. So if you go to Credential Manager, you have a password here, an old password here that I have to remove and delete. So I removed and deleted that, and that seemed to resolve the issue. And I thought that will fix the problem, but then the other issue is that he has his old credentials set up on Citrix as well. So I had to remove that as well. That kept locking him out too. I never seen that before. So it kept locking him out from Chrome. So I had to remove that as well. After doing all that, after like 5-10 minutes, I finally got him up and running. So that's what happened to me. It's crazy.
When it comes to company cell phones and stuff like that, when they change their passwords, the single sign-on, does that kick it to the cell phone, or are you going to manually do that on those external devices, iPads, cell phones? Does it actually connect up to it to do like a single sign-on where it would flip it, or do you got to physically go in there and change it?
So if you change your password on the computer, you go to your iPhone or your Android phone or whatever, it actually prompts for the password.
It does.
You put in the new password and you're good to go after that point. A lot of people think it's SSO and that it signs you in or whatever. It doesn't work that way. You have to.
Oh, it's not. Okay, so it's not. So you have to physically manually do it on company cell phones.
Yeah, I even seen someone get locked out of Concur. So Concur is single sign-in, and Concur works with your AD account. So if you put an old password in there, it'll keep locking you out. So Concur is a program. Some companies, like if you work in a hedge fund environment, they use it. So Concur is a program where basically the admin puts their expenses and their plane flight tickets, and credit card charges as well. So they use that on their iPhone or their iPad, and they do expenses on behalf of a manager or someone like that. They do all their expenses, so the manager doesn't have to worry about it. So what happens is that the person's trying to log into that on their iPhone or their laptop or whatever, and they're putting in the old password, and then it just kicks you out, you know?
So in other words,
SSO. It's supposed to be SSO, but it's not sometimes. So it doesn't.
So in other words, a good like rule of thumb would be when you change your password, overall, make sure you get your cell phones, whatever, and change it right away on there. That's kind of like a good like rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Right?
So what I do is I have the user connect to VPN. I have the user connect to VPN. Then I do control delete, change password, change the password. Then actually on the computer itself, it tells you do control delete, lock the computer, and sign in with that new password. It tells you to do that. Actually, we have it set up that way. And then they sign in with the new password, and then you go to your iPhone or your Android and change it in there. It gets you the prompt. I never have issues with it, but people that are not tech savvy have issues with it. I don't know why, but it doesn't work for them. It works for me. Like I literally change the password on the laptop. Okay. Do it on the iPhone and it works. Like it doesn't. There's no issue with it. I don't understand why they have that issue, and it works for me right away. Like it doesn't. I have no issues with it. So.
I don't know why that always happens every time.
Have like you guys ever transferred like the information off of a Windows computer over to a Apple computer?
I've done.
You guys ever done that?
Yeah, you have to change the file association or the file type. The files are different from Windows and Mac. You have to somehow convert the files, otherwise you can't see those files.
Okay, because I had a CEO this week. I got a ticket in going. He got a MacBook Pro, and he wanted to take it from his Windows machine into the Apple machine. Nobody was touching this darn ticket. It was kicked up to me. I'm like, I never did this before in my life. I never transferred from a Windows to a Mac. I don't know what I'm doing. I called up the help desk and I said, guys, I cannot help this gentleman. It's a hot ticket. It's for a VIP. I'm like, you're going to have to find some Apple guy. And I think we only have one Apple guy in the whole entire Stanley Black & Decker industry. Mm-hmm. And I said, you're going to have to kick it up to him if he knows how to do this. I mean, I kind of was Googling it and YouTubing it. And I said, you got to put it up there to the iCloud, or whatever they call that, up there. And it's like, I don't know how to do that stuff, and I got the ticket removed, and hopefully the one guy in our company, Mr. Apple guy, he can actually do it. Everybody else is hands off.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta convert the Apple file or the Windows file to an Apple file. You say you're doing it from Windows to Mac, right? So you convert the file
Windows
over.
to Mac. You're right.
Yeah, you convert the file, and then when you convert the file, you put it on a flash drive. But in order for you to use a flash drive, you have to run an ISO image burn tool. I don't know if you ever heard of that. ISO
You mean like Rufus or something like that? Like
yeah,
Rufus or something.
and you convert it into a Mac flash drive, and then you put it on the Mac flash drive, and it'll show up as a disk. And then you just drag and drop. Well, not a disk, but like a hard drive on the Mac. You plug it in there. It turns into a hard drive. The flash drive turns into a hard drive. You just double click on the files and you drag and drop and put it on the desktop.
I smell a video, Kev. I smell a video.
Yeah. So it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work if you plug a regular flash drive to a Mac. You have to convert it first. It doesn't see it because it doesn't know what FAT32 is or whatever you're doing. You know those Windows file associations like exFAT or FAT32. It doesn't know what that is. So you have to convert it into a Mac flash drive. Then you could actually put stuff in it and actually move stuff in it from the So
it's a whole process. It's not just a little connect them both together on the network and drag and drop.
No.
It's the whole process you have to go through. Well, thank God I kicked it up to the guy that
it's not gonna let you do it.
Because I can't do it.
It's not gonna let you do it. You have to convert it first. Once you convert it, then you could put it on the flash drive. But the flash drive, you have to convert that too as a Mac. Then you drag and drop the files and put it on the desktop.
That's crazy daisies right there, man.
Femi.
Anybody else? You can talk. Go ahead. I'm done. We're done for a while.
Hi guys. I was wondering, Kevtech, I thought I'd read it somewhere with respect to the Mac Catalina. It looks like it's and you could correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like it's converged to the point with the Windows operating system where, you probably might be able to get away with that conversion from the files from moving the files from Windows to Mac now. I don't know. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I'd read it somewhere.
I'm going based on the old operating systems. I haven't tried it on that.
Okay. All right.
I haven't tried it on that. And usually if you plug a flash drive on Mac, you have to open up disk utility and you have to actually do some stuff in there in order to allow it.
Right.
Typically.
Right.
Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? How's your week?
Oh boy. Well, you ended quite well, so that's all I can say.
So, you encounter some issues?
Yeah, remember the one I threw at the Discord the other day? Like I was going berserk, like the way sometimes you see a ticket that you think this is supposed to be child's play. It's just a matter of rejoining the computer to the domain.
Yeah.
Man, it looked like this thing was taking 200 weeks. Like it was crazy.
Did you fix it or?
Yeah, it was basically the same thing I was doing. The way you'd put the user on VPN and then take it off the domain and put it on the work group and then immediately switch it back to the domain, and then it shows you all of those things that you're expecting to see. What was happening at some point is it would look like it actually worked. Like all we needed to do was restart the computer, and then for us to get back in and then put him back on VPN and then do switch user, like you say you have set up in your environment as well, and then have the user put in their credentials and for it to, just let him in, only for it to be like, oh, the credentials are wrong, whatever. And then I go back into Active Directory and suddenly the node, the device that was showing up in Active Directory previously, all of a sudden it's disappeared again. And then what it happened at some point was someone suggested to me that, oh, maybe you want to try putting your own, putting my own RSA token and log into his VPN. And I'm like, I don't see what makes it different. Like it's still VPN anyways. So it was like, oh, maybe because you, it's gonna work because you have, I have supposedly higher rights. But I'm like,
that's what happened to me. I was gonna ask you to do that. I forgot to ask you to do that. It happened to me.
Yeah, but what does it matter? Like,
no, you have more. You're a help desk guy. You have more rights than a regular user. So So that's
Right.
you have more. You have more token and certificates that come with VPN. So if you log in as yourself, you're actually pulling it from your IT or help desk, token and certificates. So
Because
if you log in as yourself, it's not the same as a regular user logging in. It will pull out their information, but it won't pull out. If you log in as yourself, it pulls out other things that are actually missing for that user. You have more access than they do in a VPN environment. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, I had that same issue with someone.
man, I don't know. I'm because I'm like it's the same VPN anyway, but
No, it's
how
not.
you say that?
It's not. Your account is set up differently from a regular user. You have other things you pull out from the server or from the company domain. You have more access than the regular user. You have more certificates and more things that come from the VPN. So like
Yeah, but
I had to
okay,
log in. I had to log in with VPN as myself because a user was missing certain tokens and certificates when they're trying to access a shared drive. And I asked my system admin or my system engineer, I'm like, why is this not working for him? And he said, oh, it's probably it's probably not pulling out the policy from the VPN and from Cisco AnyConnect. So why don't you log in as yourself and let it pull out those certificates, because like you have more access than he does. So it's going to pull out all these tokens and certificates. So I did that. I logged in as myself, but I connect to VPN as myself. But then I had them log in, and then they pull out all the certificates and all the tokens as me. And then I logged off. I had them log in again using their own VPN, and then after that, it was working for them. That's what
but
happened to me.
can I ask you a further question or follow
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
Do you have it? I mean, how is your own environment is based on what you said? Like, because in my own case, I have my regular like the same regular credentials that every other person has in if whether they're IT or not, and then we have a separate login credential, username and password that's supposed to be the represent the administrator username and password.
I only
But we
have
don't
one.
we don't.
I'm special because I everyone in my job has two accounts. I only have one account.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm special. I'm
Oh,
What is
special.
it? Is that like just-in-time access permissions? I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
Like you're given the permissions right when you need it.
yeah. You're basically creating a permission rights. Yeah, if you're logging in as as the IT person, it's just giving them more permission for that specific thing that they're trying to get access to. That was my troubleshooting because I had an issue with a user that he logged in. The share drive was supposed to show up. It wasn't showing up. I'm like, why is this not working? So then I tried to manually add it and it wasn't working. And I'm like, why the hell is this not working? And then the sysadmin is like, Kevin, you gotta log in as you gotta connect to VPN as yourself. Let it pull out all the token and certificates for the user on that laptop because it adds it to the laptop. Then
Question.
after that,
How did you
give
do
me a
that?
second. Give me a second. Give me a
How
second.
did
Then after that, after you log into the VPN as basically you're logging to the VPN as yourself, but you have them log in the domain login screen. Like the regular Windows login screen. You log in, you have them log into it, but you're actually the VPN's connected with your account, if that makes sense. So it's two separate things. And then basically what you do is you have them log in, and then you run GP update force as admin, and it pulls out all the tokens and credentials and certificates. And then after that, you log off and sign back in, but you sign back in with VPN connected as them. I had him do that, and then actually the share drive worked. Everything that he needed access to, it actually started to work. I know that sounds weird, but
Yes, that is weird. How in the world did you do that with the Cisco AnyConnect? You log in as somebody else when they're logged in as them. How did you do that? What's the trick to that? I would love to know that trick.
if you have a company laptop, there are two software applications. There's one that allows you to connect to Cisco AnyConnect through the domain screen. It's Windows username and Windows password. On the bottom right hand side, there's a Cisco AnyConnect button. You click on that, and you actually log in as yourself on it, and then you have them log into the domain username and password. So if your company has that environment set up, you could do that if it has it set up that way. So basically, this is connecting to VPN before actually logging in. So I will log in as myself on Cisco AnyConnect on the bottom right hand side, and then I log in with my username and password. So basically, it's pulling information for me, but I'm having the user log in as themselves, and they log in, and then I run GP update force, and it grabs everything and puts it in there, and then I sign out, connect back to VPN, log in as them again, and then log in as them again on domain username and password.
Oh,
So,
I see.
It's called sign before login from Jobs Security just said it. It's called SBL, sign before login.
Yeah, I see where, because I saw that response when I'd asked in Discord, but the way my environment is set up is different in the sense that the user has to, like in this case, usually we'll provide them the local password to get into the computer before we can sign into VPN.
You could go into Cisco AnyConnect and you could change the settings that VPN connects automatically when you sign out. I don't know if you know that.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that, but
so when you log off and sign back in, the VPN is connected now automatically as whoever signs into it. So I'm not sure if you've done that before.
No, I've never done that. No.
So there's a little, so on Cisco AnyConnect, there's a gear. So you click on the Cisco AnyConnect on the bottom right hand side, there's a little gear. You click on the gear, and then it says here, do you want it to sign in before login? Wow. You click on, you check mark that, and then basically when you sign out, it's still connected to VPN.
Is it under like a status overview, VPN, roaming?
It's around there somewhere. Yeah, you click the little gear button, and basically you connect to your account instead, and then you sign out, and then you sign back in as yourself technically using the VPN, and then it pulls all the certificates and everything for the user. That's basically what you could do. I know. Sounds crazy.
I gotta see that.
Oh, I see it now. I see it now. Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
Right.
I have a video on this, by the way. I have Cisco AnyConnect video on this.
How to do logging in with somebody else's credentials?
No, I have a video where I go over the setting that you could sign in before login with VPN.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we have that too at our place too now. But as far as signing in as someone else, I've never done that one. I don't think I've ever done that trick. If they even have that, or maybe it's group policy knocked out. I'm not sure. I haven't tried that yet. Yeah.
So basically, that's basically what it is. So I had to sign in as myself on VPN because we have our own account. You know, thing is, I have an admin account, so I only have one account. You have two accounts in your job. Me, I have one account. In my account, I have access to everything, you know, so it's crazy. So I log in, let the policies pull in, then have them sign in, and then you're good to go after that.
Yeah, well, luckily now my regular account, I can do almost anything I want on the network.
Nice.
Thank God. Thank the Lord. That freaking got all sweetened out. So I don't even touch that stupid admin account. I don't care about it. I don't even look at it. I can do everything I can, log in as my regular account, and I can have fun. Thank the Lord for that one.
How do you remote into someone's computer if they don't have VPN? You use BumGuard, TeamViewer, AnyDesk, SSCM. That's not gonna work. BumGuard, TeamViewer, AnyDesk, Log Me In. You know, that's basically yeah. All right, so you guys are ready to go over some questions? Comptia, you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm working on my friend's wedding website as I'm with you guys. So I'm doing both at the same time. So if I zone out, excuse me.
No worries.
Oh, hey, Phil, last night you were awesome last night on that video, by the way, explaining that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll sleep to it though. By the end, I didn't see you guys at the very end.
Well,
halfway
I'm
down,
not boring.
like, no, it was just I just kind of put it on and fell asleep. So
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, so let me share my screen real quick. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure out what exams that we went over. So I'm going over it. I'm looking at it right now. So I want to do repetitive stuff, you know. So let me share screen one again. Hopefully you guys could see it. Just give it a second. Needs time to catch up.
Are we doing this website?
Let me see.
You remember the other one? Do you want me to send it to you?
Yeah, send me the other one.
The one that we couldn't get any right on before.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay,
no.
good.
The other one.
The other was scary.
Yeah, no, that one's terrible. We're not doing that. That one gives me nightmares.
You can see Mr. Troy is here today, being our guest. So
Hi, Troy.
Like I said, hi. Wait, hi.
Hi, Troy.
Troy. Now he's being bashful.
Hey, just send it over to me. I'll have a look.
Okay, I'm sending. I was sorry, I was just looking for it.
Steven, we might need Troy's help. So, sorry.
Where'd you send it? Oh, here we go.
Zoom.
Zoom room. Okay.
Zoom room.
Steven, I said we might need Troy's help today.
What was that again?
I said we might need Troy's help today.
Troy's.
I want the other part, not that part.
He's watching the Polar Express, so that's what he talks about it. That's what he said that we're watching again for the 100 millionth time. But,
Yeah, he likes it. He likes it. It's okay.
oh, he loves this. Oh, Jesus.
It's all right.
He's trying to know every single word. Scary.
I'm gonna go over operational procedures. I think that one's gonna be a problem for everyone because some of us are really bad with procedures.
Okay.
Yeah, so before I get started, Femi, you have any questions for me about the Cisco AnyConnect?
Well, I'll rest my case for now. I'm still trying to digest some of the things you said.
To answer your question, I only have one account, and to answer your question, certain certificates get pulled by you if you're an admin.
And then you did mention, you did mention something about the group policy updates before you ask the user to do the switch user and sign in.
Yeah, you gotta configure all that, otherwise it won't work, you know. So.
And what's this thing? Have you had the situation where when you try to do the rejoin and then you think you've succeeded, there's this DNS thing that, have you ever had this situation where you have this DNS something that has to do with the DNS not being contacted, something like that? Have you had this?
Usually, if having a bunch of DNS issues, usually I remove the computer from Active Directory and just try to re-add it again. Sometimes the computer's still there. I just remove it and re-add it and start from scratch because sometimes it causes a bunch of problems for some reason. So.
But do you think sometimes it might be something to do with the computer sometimes that's just not right? Like
I seen computers fail actually where you try everything and it just doesn't work and you have to re-image the whole computer.
Okay, because that's what one of my network guy who's been there forever. If we were on site, it would be like, you know what, don't even bother yourself, re-image it.
No, I seen it where it's a one-off issue where you just can't, for the dear life of you, you try everything and it just doesn't work, and then you have to just re-image the whole thing because it just doesn't work. And unfortunately, you're gonna have to just give them another computer for the time being and just re-image the other one, you know. But obviously, like I tell everyone, you want to troubleshoot it in depth first before you re-image the whole thing. So just see if you can resolve it before you image the whole thing. It's like a last resort. You shouldn't have to rebuild the whole computer unless it's like really messed up. So
yeah, the one guy this week was for he writes code for the plant out there and all these heavy big like machineries. Comes down and he goes, Steve, my computer is caught in this rebooting pattern. And I'm like, well, that sucks. And I'm like, I can try to do some things, but I won't think I'll be able to save this thing. And we tried a million things. It's like, we have to blow it away. And he goes, Steve, there's like over $50,000 worth of applications on here. And I'm like, I can't do anything about that. We're going to have to blow it away. You're going to have to reinstall everything. Oh, I reinstalled them like years ago on disk. I'm like, do you have any backups? No, I can't do anything. What do you want me to do? You guys should have thought of that 5 years ago. And they're like, he was mad, but I ended up blowing away his machine. Now he got it back today and he has to reinstall everything again. It's crazy, but backup people, you know?
Yep.
He actually wanted me to ghost his machine. And I was like, I said, I don't think we can ghost machines here. And I was like, I don't have a program to ghost your actual machine. So you're going to have to just deal with it. He wasn't too happy, but it is what it is. You know, if the company's not going to pay for a ghosting program to back up that important laptop, that's not up to me. That's up to the higher ups. You know, it's one of those.
I had a software guy who's trying to run PowerShell and it wouldn't let him do anything, and it's because I had to add him to a security group, which I did. But I had another software dev that by default it runs certain. We update certain programs by default automatically, and it kept doing it every day, and it kept failing. So we had to stop that computer from running the update on it through the back end on the server side, because it kept running the same update over and over again, and it kept crashing their computer. So you just gotta be careful with that. Anyway, go back to you guys see my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, all right, and everyone sees it on YouTube. Yeah, I see it. All right, good. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Probably can't see anything. All right, there we go. A new employee at the IT help desk has just started, and as a senior administrator, you have been charged with showing him the ropes. While discussing general safety measures, the new employee asks you about the purpose of grounding electronic systems. What best describes the purpose of electronic grounding? A way to safely provide electricity to the ground for wireless charging, a way to provide an alternative method for devices to transport and receive electricity, a new method created for power redundant server farms, a way to transport excessive electronical discharge away from the connected components.
A way to transport excess electrical discharge.
Yeah? That's what you think?
That's what I think.
Anyone know what is ESD?
The electrostatic discharge.
Mm-hmm.
Steven, don't answer. I know you're trying to raise your hand. All right, everyone's okay with D?
Yep.
YouTube, you guys are okay with D? I see someone said D. What do you guys think?
Yep.
I'm asking YouTube, see what they say.
Oh.
What do you guys think? D? Think D's the answer? I think it's D. Trying to see what. Well, they said D.
I like E. Was E on there? No.
There's no E over here.
E for electrical.
That is correct. Grounding
Yep.
provides a way to safely transport. Yeah, what happened?
I'm sorry, Kevtech. You know, something that just amazes me sometimes when I read through the answers, maybe even sometimes the questions by Comptia especially, is I don't know why it just keeps amazing me. Like sometimes there's a way the answers are structured that I don't know if you get that feeling of okay, I know that I've chosen my answer. I'm convinced it's the answer, but why is it that I keep saying some things in the other answers that looks like maybe I should change my mind? I'm just saying basically. I'm not speaking specifically to this one.
So I think with this one too, guys, out there in the YouTube world, what other way if you were working on someone's computer and you didn't have one of those little, the actual mats you can put stuff down to discharge, what is the best way to discharge yourself before touching a computer or a laptop or some kind of device inside the computer? What is the best way to do it?
You touch Pikachu, and then you let him get all the electricity, and then after that you go and fix the computer.
Well, I was gonna say you put your finger into the wall socket.
Don't you have to like touch? Don't you have to like touch a metal or something for a bit, and then something like
you, Femi. Come on, we know it. You know it.
I don't even remember. I just
other people. Come on.
Steven, I do not even remember. I was just like, maybe.
Don't pick on Femi.
Honestly, I do not remember. I just thought maybe, haven't I seen that before somewhere? I wasn't sure.
What they say in YouTube world? Anything?
Touch grounded metal.
There you go. That's probably your best bet. Nothing around. Just grab it. Just discharge yourself and go to town.
Yeah, I would
see people use discharge mats or mats anymore.
I use Pikachu mat. That's what I use. That's just me though. That's just me. So, anyway, we'll go to the next question. So let that. Yeah, I use a Pikachu mat. So basically, Pikachu's there. I touch Pikachu, and then I don't get electrocuted. But that's just me though. So just go to the next question over here. Just waiting for the question to catch up on YouTube. All right. Your boss wants to have a meeting to discuss your thoughts on the IT department's use of proper safety in handling of equipment. At the meeting, your boss surprises you and asks you to take apart an end user's computer, but to minimize the possibility of electrostatic ESD, what item can you use to reduce the risk of ESD? ESD straps and mat, ESD glasses, special shoes, compressed air. What do you guys think?
Sorry, I'm going back to Zoom. The first one, straps and mat.
It wouldn't be special shoes. Maybe if you wear Nike shoes, you could stop electricity.
I heard Adidas was the one, but I don't know.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say it's A?
Because well, I don't know what the strap, because the straps are, wait, I do know what the straps are. The thing that you use to ground it to the mat, right? And I know that you use a mat for sure. Why did I choose that? Because that's what I studied.
What do you think, Femi?
She's right. The strap, by the way, is the one you tie around your end.
Yeah, you put it on you put it on your hand or your wrist or something, or your arm or something like that. Your hand, right? Isn't it? And you put the other end to the computer itself.
No, to the mat, right?
Femi, am I right?
Yep.
He's right, Femi.
Yep.
I'm back.
One of them to his arm and one of them to the computer.
People, the entire static strap.
Where's that?
So purposely what you do is you go like this,
I'm gonna show you right now.
like she would do at home, like Haifa. Then you click this and you click this to something metal on the actual laptop or onto the case.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what
you
that's what
arc
I'm trying to
around
say.
it.
Where's that?
And you hope to God you don't blow something up,
Daddy,
basically.
oh,
So you put it
I
like
thought
what's that?
Don't
I thought you
worry.
guys were joking about attaching it to the computer.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
You basically you put it on your wrist in your hand, and then there's like a little clip, and you clipped it off to the metal of the
This
computer.
is not a roach clip, people. This is an alligator. This is an alligator clip. This is, it's not used for something else. It's used to click it on to the machine, and then you just go like this, and then I'm grounded. Yay! And then you can work.
Yeah, I
basically.
myself have never used one. Like,
Neither have I.
That's
I
I've
never
never-
will today.
never shocked some. I mean, I shocked something once, and it was because there was dust on it. That's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so
That's why you always
you would do that.
touch. Grab onto it, discharge yourself, and then go to town. Have fun.
Exactly. Just hold the metal thing the entire time.
Yeah, just touch metal, and then you're good to go, and then do what you got to do, and that's it. You know.
Is this what you guys use when you do the power supply? Kevtech?
Yeah, you just gotta be careful. I have one of those tools. I don't touch it. I mean, I have it. It's in my office somewhere in my job. I don't use it, but it's good to have. So
Yeah, usually it's only with a very paranoid check.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the answer for this is A.
And guaranteed, you will probably see that on the A+ exam.
Oh yeah, I'm like
guaranteed.
99% sure you'll see that on the exam. That's one of those ESD. You're gonna see maybe 2 or 3 ESD questions. There was 7 ESD questions for me on the Apple certification, on the ACMT certification. There was about 7 questions on ESD, because those MacBook Airs, MacBook Pros, those motherboards, they fry out real quickly for some reason. So you got to be careful with that. But I seen a couple of questions on that on ESD on the Mac exam. So
The only time I'd actually consider using it is if I'm working on a server, because those things are expensive. Other than that,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right, next question. After hearing the fire alarm at work, you see smoke coming from a server. Oh no! In the network room, one of your colleagues is already attempting to subdue it using a bucket of water. When you yell out and tell him to stop, what should he use to put out the fire? Wet chemicals, dry fire traps, wet fire traps, a Class C fire extinguisher. What do you guys think? You guys wouldn't throw a bucket of water on the server?
Class C. Fire extinguisher. That sounds like something meant for like electricity or something.
If it was me, I'd be out the darn door. Who cares if the damn server blows up or burns up? They can always buy more. Get out the damn door. I don't care if it burns up. Have fun. I'm running to the doorway.
I agree with Kevin Diaz.
Well, so what's the answer?
I said D.
Yeah,
You said-
I'll say D. Yeah.
You said B, dry fire traps?
No, D.
D.
Oh,
D.
oh, D.
Plus-
Oh, okay.
Because I
What the hell's a fire
remember.
trap?
Yeah, I remember especially when I worked at Walmart, and we usually would do this drills from time to time, and we knew that. I mean, it just got to a point you just remember the Class C's for electrical related fires. Yeah, so I remember very well now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just me. I throw coffee at it because maybe it needs caffeine to recover. That's just me though. But anyway, yeah, I think it's D. I'm gonna go with D. Everyone, some people say D, some people say A. So I'm gonna go with D. Yep, it's correct. For electric fires, you should always use a special dry fire prevention or extinguishing chemicals. Carbon dioxide is one of those chemicals. That makes sense. It wouldn't be any of these. It doesn't make any
Usually,
sense.
like a big server room, they'll have some kind of extinguishing system that'll go off, and you don't want to be in there when that goes off, because it basically,
Like a halon system or something like that.
yeah, and that's not healthy for humans. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely. If it was me and the server's on fire, I would run away. That's just me, though. You know, I'm just like, oh, screw this, get a new server, guys. It's just me.
Yeah, I think it comes with a lot of carbon monoxide to try to cover to eat up all the oxygen that's trying to stoke up more fire. So that's what makes it dangerous. Yeah.
All right, next question. Josh is getting ready to leave work for the day when he overhears his IT manager debating with a network administrator about proper ways to dispose of computing devices. The IT manager calls you over and you explain how the admin can simply reference the safety data sheet, SDS, to see disposable instructions. The IT manager then asks you who administers the SDS. What should you tell him? OSHA, FBI, FCC, EPA. Right away, we could eliminate FBI, so don't worry about that. And we have
Nah,
three
they're
other
gonna come
ones.
to-
Damn,
to
that
your
was my
door.
choice.
You throw out that printer cartridge, they're gonna come to your door.
Oh, well.
And you can easily eliminate the FCC as well. Definitely.
The
I think it. I'm not sure. I remember doing OSHA. I did it somewhere. I'm trying to remember where.
Occupational safety, health, and occupational safety, health, and
Yeah.
Administration?
But then you also have the EPA, which is supposed to be something that has to do with the
environmental protection agency.
But
Yeah.
That's what I believe it is. I
think
it
it's
sounds
one.
the most correct.
Yeah,
I think it's
because the OSHA is more like workplace safety,
Yeah.
and then EPA looks more like something that's more environmental.
But the safety data sheets.
I seen OSHA and the environment where you work in retail and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm crazy, but I
Oh,
seen
is
that
that-
before.
Yeah,
It's like
you're correct.
don't get on a ladder or something like that in a certain way. Use certain equipment. That's the kind of thing, like protective
I think it's
equipment.
OSHA.
That's what I think is D, but I don't know.
Because I used to do the safety data sheets years ago at the print. At printing,
think it's-
OSHA wants to know what the heck is going on.
Yeah. You know,
EPA.
now that I read it again, it looks like it may be OSHA.
Sure, agree with me now.
You come upstairs.
So Shaquin
The
said
EPA is
it's
confusing,
EPA. EPA, OSHA is workplace safety and
Yeah,
regulations.
it's kind of confusing.
I agree with that. The EPA.
I think it's FBI because the FBI is tracking your steps. So they be tracking your sheets and stuff like that. So no, it's not that one. I'm just kidding.
They're gonna know. Don't
it
throw
could
out
be-
that printer cartridge.
Yeah, it could be it could be D, or it could be A. It's either A or D.
OSHA. I think it's,
I'm sticking to D.
doesn't OSHA do that? I don't know. Because I know we used to get, back when I was a printer, we used to get like alcohol and MRC and all that stuff, and it would come already with the safety data sheet, and we would have to update our book when those things come in, if there were any kind of new safety data. Because if anybody doesn't know what they are, in case like MRC or alcohol gets splashed in your face, you do A, B, and C, and D, and then call a doctor to try and save your eyesight or something like that. Or basically, that's what those things.
So you were a party guy with alcohol, Steven. Is that what you're telling me based on this?
Actually, I like that answer. The only reason that I'm hesitant is because I'm thinking about the lab. When I was in school, usually there were safety data sheets for all the chemicals. So then OSHA is specifically for workers, right? Or no?
Yeah, because every job, I mean, you go to any job, OSHA's going to be, OSHA's there. The OSHA's, they got to have some kind of regulations.
There's rules and regulations, and you got to sign up. You got to sign a book or watch a video on it.
I mean, if your company is not following this, they can actually shut you down. So,
Now that you mentioned that, I know that you have the OSHA people going around, but I know I've never seen like EPA people going around like that.
Yeah, let's go A.
Isn't EPA the next step up, I think, from OSHA?
Ooh,
don't do this, the house. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Huh. Interesting.
That's a crazy name.
Yeah, it is a crazy name. Okay.
The MSDS sheets, yes.
MSD is by OSHS. GHS. Global Harmonized System Classification Labeling of Chemicals. Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Hey, over in your home country, do they have anything like this over there? Is it called something like this, or they have something that in businesses they can control?
I'm sure they do.
You never seen it with your father or anything talking about anything like that? Nothing going on?
I don't think you would have dealt with that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he had to.
Yeah. I know most countries. Sorry about that. I know most countries have it because there's an international organization for it as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would expect any chemical to have any kind of warning sign or some kind of data sheet. I mean, it has to have it.
Yeah, I looked at OSHA because I worked in a restaurant environment and I had to read a book, watch a video, and sign an agreement with the company that I actually did the training. So I was like, it has to be OSHA because I've seen this before, you know. It was like a long time ago. But
Just say OSHA. It's OSHA.
OSHA, yeah. I see.
Everybody knows OSHA. That's what the heck is OSHA? Yeah? Oh, it's OSHA.
I had to deal with that too because I'm the only guy. Well, I'm not the only guy, but like I have my food. I had my food vendor's license, so I could buy and sell food, and I had to take an exam for it when I had it. So
also,
fun fact by me.
Also, too, with those MSDS sheets, if something does go wrong at a place of business where you guys work, and it's like someone comes to you, hey, someone got something like splashed in their eyes. You go and you find that material safety data sheet, then you read it. Or what you got to do, but it says, take that along to the hospital because they're going to want to know what's in the chemical and how they can treat it there. All right. So that's very, very important to take that sheet with you along with the person who has the problem, go to the hospital and give it to the person who's going, this is what is in his eyes. And they know exactly what to do to try and save the eyesight or whatever they have to do there. So that's a very, very important key. If you guys don't do that, they're like, well, what got in his eyes? Oh, it was MR something. They may say, what the heck is MRC? What's in it? Now they gotta go looking, and that's precious time wasted for someone losing their eyesight. So it's very, very important to do that. I'll just throw that out there. That's okay.
I mean, if someone gets something in their eye, I put a bucket over their head. That's just me, though.
That's why in labs they have a binder usually with all the MSDS sheets.
Yeah. I'm just messing.
I used to be in charge of that binder. That is a major task to do if you guys ever get a chance to do it. you gotta stay on top of it. You got really, if not, it can get really like a couple years old, really, really quick. It's pretty amazing, but.
Yeah. All right, next question. Tim is taking inventory in the network closet and noticed that he was getting pretty warm in the room. He finds the thermostat and turns it down to 50 Fahrenheit. Your boss walks in, notices a new temperature setting, and Tim gets in trouble for not having optical environment conditions in the network room. How should humidity levels be set in the room where network equipment is stored? Balance, very low, very high, typical room settings. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say balance on this one.
I'm gonna say balanced also. Yeah, balanced.
Yeah, I would say balance as well, and I see the chat box is saying balance. Anyone want to say something else? Anyone?
Because I don't think you really want. I think you don't really want either extreme for it, because if you have a lot of humidity, then you might have some kind of moisture buildup, and then
If it's
very
too
low. I think low actually generates ESD. Like ESD is generated easier in low humidity environments, if I remember correctly. So it might make sense to be balanced.
The reason I don't think it's typical room temperature or typical room settings is because that's not controlled at all. Like that just
Yeah, I think it
depends on the area that you're in. So it has
Yeah.
to. I think it's balanced. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's balanced too.
By the
I'm
way,
not-
that's why if you go to like a
balance.
dry area, like especially like in the southern states, if you live in one of those areas, and it's always like low humidity, and it's like a very dry heat, that's where you really should consider wearing a electrostatic strap, because then you're going to be shocking things all day.
What is Shiquin asked? What does balanced mean? Balanced means it's controlled. I guess maybe Kevin can read that.
Yeah, pretty much it's a control set temperature. That's basically what it is. If you want to
Room temperature is what it is as well. It could be anything.
So that's what balance is. So it wouldn't be the other ones. Just by looking at it, it just wouldn't work with that. You're gonna have a bunch of issues if you obviously change the temperature to a certain temperature. So go to the next question. Yeah, everyone said A on YouTube, by the way. So yeah, they got it right. It's balanced. It's balanced. That's what it is. So does that make sense? That's balanced. Someone says so much moisture causes things to get wet. Yeah, that's true. All right, next question. Jeff is in the back room at work cleaning out one of the old printers with a shop vacuum. After walking in, you ask Jeff to stop immediately, informing him he could be damaging the printer components by using the shop vacuum. What type of vacuum should he use to clean out the printer? Specialized anti-static vacuum, fireproof vacuum, Dell all-in-one vacuum, laser vacuum. What do you guys think?
No, it's a laser vacuum. You just point the laser at it, and then it just vacuums it up.
I think it's specialized anti-static vacuum.
I think it's fireproof vacuum. You set it on fire and then you use the vacuum on top of it.
I'm surprised they don't have the Dyson ball to whatever.
No, it has to be. Those things are expensive, by the way. Those printer like toner vacuums, those things are super expensive.
Yeah, they are. I would say it's specialized anti-static vacuum. What people are saying in chat box. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think it's A. What is a fireproof vacuum? I have never even heard of that. What is that? Anyone knows what that is?
So you can vacuum up the fire.
It's fireproof.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, so the answer is A. When working inside computers or other electronic devices, only specialized vacuums should be used. Those devices are especially made so that they do not damage your electronic components. That makes sense. You know.
Or even better, if you're actually cleaning a computer, don't use a vacuum. The printer makes sense because you might be cleaning out some toner, but
Mhm.
computer, don't use a vacuum.
Yeah, I've seen people try to invent with stuff like they try to make things up and and try to clean it out like that. It's just, I don't know why they do that, but you got to be careful with that.
Like
Do
you're
you
asking
use
for
the air
everything.
thing?
Yeah, blow it
They
out.
use an air
Don't
spray
vacuum it,
can.
just blow it out.
No, don't stay away from vacuums.
Do you
You'll
guys want to
probably
know a funny story?
damage the motherboard or something. You're gonna damage something. So
You want to know a funny story?
Yep.
A few weeks ago, or no, a few months ago, sorry, my grandfather wanted to clean his laptop. So he grabbed the glasses spray thing, and he literally, so he has then he had 3 laptops now it's down to 2. You can guess why. He grabbed the little spray thingy and literally drenched his keyboard. And then he calls me over. Oh, my laptop's not working. One of my laptops are not working. I was like, okay, Grandpa, I'm coming. So I go to see, and I was like, you probably fried the motherboard, dude. Like, why would you clean it with that? He's like, no, it's for glass. I'm like, Grandpa, that's not glass.
I mean, technically you can if you turn it off and you it'll probably be fine, but
he drenched
probably wasn't.
it. Drenched. And he's like, it's not working. No.
Because once it dries, it's fine.
I didn't know that you technically could.
So did you guys answer this one? Yeah, that was upstairs.
No, we're going over it now. We skipped the other. We went over the other answer. We're going over this one now. I'm gonna read it right now.
I'd say it's you didn't read it. Okay.
No, I haven't read it yet. After a recent power outage knocked the company offline for 30 minutes, the executives have been discussing how to keep this from happening again. Damn, that sucks for them. They bring you in as an IT expert to help with planning and design phases. One executive asked, how can you tell how much of a surge can be handled by a surge suppressor? What do you tell him? Spike rating, capacitor A level. I don't even know what that is. Joule rating? I don't even. But what is that? dB
It's
rating.
a measure of energy.
What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say Joule rating.
I'm gonna go with spike rating.
You gotta remember, what is it doing? What is the surge suppressor doing? When that lightning bolt comes in, boys, it better be quick because it's what kind of, think back to a cartoon or something.
For this question, I don't know English.
You know what? Actually, hold on.
Now I have, look at that, I'm thinking now. Thinking back to his childhood days. When
No, because I just looked up what a joule is. Because I forgot. So yeah, I'm gonna go with C.
Ooh, look at that. I have Kevin on my side. Can I get another Kevin? Can I go for, oh, we got another Kevin on our side.
Joule rating.
How about Femi? Can we get Femi on our side?
I'm thinking what a capacitor does again. Isn't it supposed to store energy anyways?
Capacitor A level. Think about what a real, they're talking about a real surge protector, not one of these thinking things, a real one. Like, what's it made to do? Why do we have houses?
That makes sense. Joule rating does make sense now. I'm thinking about it.
Thank you. I try to make it, so everybody understands.
Okay, but okay, so after recent power outage, but okay, I'm looking at because the social I've been discussing how to keep this from having they bring you in. Oh.
You think it's capacity A level there, Femi?
How much of a
capacitors hold a charge.
Yeah, it holds a charge, right?
Correct.
But in the beginning of the question, it talks about after a recent power outage, knocked out the company offline for 30 minutes.
Right. These surge suppressors only last for the batteries only last for 30 minutes, and then they die. And then once commercial power kicks back on, that's your only saving grace. And you better hope that there's no boom, 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 boom. If there's boom, boom, the equipment's in some serious trouble at that because it's going to blow away switches, routers, whatever, servers, if they take a bump like that without that surge protector being activated, God bless them, because it's going to be a heck of a wake-up call for those guys, for those pieces of equipment.
So did you say you're going with spike rating?
I'm going with Joule rating. What is a surge suppressor? What is the surge suppressor built for? It's to handle.
A Joule is the work required to move an electrical charge through. Oh, it's through an electrical potential difference. So basically, the work required to move an electrical charge of a surge capacity.
So Kevin, does it say anything on there? How much does a lightning bolt come out in joules?
Oh no, it's not even worth. It's some crazy amount.
Right. And what these things are made to do on a second, as soon as it feels some kind of surge, boom, it kicks in. It should be like a split, a hair. The timing is so fast, like in the blink of an eye, to try and save that equipment. Ooh, there it is.
The only reason I wanted to search spike rating at the beginning was because of the name, but
yeah, the name is like wait a minute, spike rating. It has to be that one, and you look at it.
Never heard of that in all my studies. I never heard of spike rating. I'm sure there's something out there with that, but that's.
I mean, I really never look at any of these ratings in the first place. So I know. That's why.
I know. Raj will throw a fit right now. It's like, well, how they're asking you computer science stuff? What is going on with this? Raj would throw a fit right now.
Like who actually looks at these numbers?
Yeah.
You just look
somebody who's buying a good surge protector, like for a hospital.
Yeah, but you look at like reviews.
Somebody on life support to go down.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So you gotta be very careful with what you choose.
But you can also look at what other people say. Hey, look, this thing survived the surge. Because the lightning bolt it's a lot of energy.
Yeah, with me, I just slide and rub the carpet and then shop some.
Yeah, with the lightning bolt, we can all just watch Back to the Future. Gigawatts. What the heck's a gigawatt? There you go. Going into flux capacitor. Remember that movie, guys? Haifa, you're probably too young. Kevin, you're way too young.
No, I've seen it.
You might be old enough to remember.
One of my favorites.
I remember. Going back.
If you haven't watched that, watch it. It's a trilogy.
So everyone said C. I'm looking at the chat box. They all said C, so that answer was right. So question number 8. After marketing yourself as an IT consultant, I don't know why you would do that, but never mind. One potential client gives you a call about some network design work at his company. He works in a factory setting where there are tons of airborne particles constantly afloat. He asks you what special considerations he should make with regard to setting up his computers. What special safety devices would fit in his environment well? Enclosures, air masks, surge protectors, air filters. What do you guys think?
If you're working at Steven's company.
I mean, would it be surge protectors? Because Kevin was saying that dust can cause electromagnetic discharge? Or would it be air filters?
Yeah, look at the question. Would fit his, he says airborne particles constantly flow. Yes, what special considerations should you make? So what would stop that? What would prevent the airborne particles?
I mean, I guess air filters, but they're not always like.
Well, they have very, very expensive air filters there, Haifa.
Okay. I was thinking like the home ones.
Some of these air filters probably cost like $1,000 a pop. Trust me, somebody out there already cornered this freaking market. People are not stupid. I mean, they charge. If you're going to have a place like this that's really regulated.
I mean, I would just spray Febreze and call it a day and walk away. Yeah. But that's just me, though.
In hospitals, they have something called clean rooms. All right, you can't walk in there without like a bunny suit on and gloves on and mask on, because that room is whole entire sterilized. If it gets any kind of contamination, they gotta clean it all up. So it's like walking into a bubble. Like if you guys ever see that Boy in the Bubble movie back in years ago or John Travolta or something, whatever it was, again, brings it back to the old days, but it all comes back around.
That's the same thing with processor plants. If you're working on a hard drive, you don't want any dust in the environment, so you can set up
Especially the hard drives back in the day.
platters.
hard drives?
When you open up, when you're working on any kind of like hard drive, you open it up. You don't want any dust on the platter when you close it back up.
There was a movie, Kev. Remember that movie with Michael Douglas? And they were, with the hard drives were getting contaminated, and they were trying to pin it on him. And they kind of like turned it all around because it was some kind of conspiracy thing. That's very, very important. Oh, we're incorrect. Oh my God. That's enclosures.
Watch them say it's air mask.
Air mask.
Can we do surge protectors? Because
No, because that doesn't make sense. It's, what I was saying is like I touched it and I moved it.
I told you it's not that.
And it's gonna be enclosures, I guess, because
Watch,
MS
yeah, right?
is, it wouldn't be with respect to the.
Ooh, look at that. 3 wrong. Look at that.
Hey, what is enclosures, Femi? What's that?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Housing
you know,
computer work.
That's
know-
a lie, right
you know,
there.
I thought our filters made more sense because I mean enclosures wouldn't give you the kind of, I mean, my opinion, in terms of trying to prevent the airborne particles from getting in, because I mean, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
My place to work does not have any kind of enclosures whatsoever. Oh, wow.
We
Yeah,
all
they-
saw that. They need
that
air
answer,
filters, they need
man.
enclosures.
Goddamn Comptia and their answers.
I never heard of enclosures, so I mean, it must be like a clean room then.
I think they're trying to say like the server rack and then it has a door. I think that's probably what they mean.
Yeah, but you know, in my experience, especially when I was in when I was dealing with virology, there is no way in the world, like if you had those equipments and you try to see through it, you'd realize that there's always going to be some kind of space when it comes to enclosures versus. I mean, because think about, you're probably going to open it anyways. to
Yeah,
do
they
something
said
else.
they want to isolate the equipment in its own control environment, so it would be enclosures. That's
Yeah,
what
but it
TJ
still
said.
doesn't make sense. So,
Yeah.
well, where else are you gonna put it?
And you're still going to open it anyway at some point to do something. So I don't know how you're going to do it without. I don't know.
Like you're not gonna take the motherboard out of the enclosure, which is the case. Like, I don't get it. Comptia.
Yeah, let me go back to the next question. This is, I don't know what to say about that one.
Please don't
Anyway.
get this one wrong.
What type of licensing model has its source code freely available to the public? Commercial, open source, open commercial, enterprise.
Open source.
I think it's commercial.
Me too. I think it's commercial too.
My favorite type of licensing model.
I think it's commercial. Maybe you have to have a commercial license for it.
You know what's funny when I look at it is open commercial. How can it be open? How can it be open and commercial in the same like phrase?
People said open. People said enterprise. Okay, I'm gonna click on that. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's open source. Come on, guys.
Yeah, exactly, Josh. Open source. You gotta get the open source code.
Open sauce. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta put some sauce in there. It's open. You know, makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I don't know if you get that one wrong. I don't know what to say about that. So
just stick Linux and it's
yeah, if I get that wrong, I would probably uninstall Windows 10 and everything and just become a painter and just give up. That's it. And just freelance and do something else. Anyway, someone said open commercial. LOL. This is funny. All right. Which of the following would not be considered personal identifiable information? PII.
PID.
Yeah, PII.
PII.
That's what we call it. Personal identifiable information. PII.
Last name, address, date of birth, high school teacher's name. What do you guys think?
Is most definitely A. Nah.
Last name.
I think it's your date of birth because people want to know where you're born at, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, it's just public
They
information, you know, right?
Yeah.
They definitely want to know your high school teacher's name. That's for
And
sure.
when, you know,
important.
you guys don't have that where you log into your bank account and it asks you like, what is your favorite teacher? What was the last place you visited, or who's your favorite pet animal, you know, security questions.
That's the one.
Unfortunately, it's not as private as private. I don't know.
Yeah. It has to be D. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Can't be any other one.
I do not know if I remember my high school teacher's name anyway. So
Yeah, me same here. I just forgot, you know, it's been so long. So
I can't forget because I work with them.
Someone said it depends on what relationship you have with your teacher.
Hey,
That's funny.
or you never know.
Yeah, it's teacher, obviously. The other ones are personal information about you, you know, as a person, you know. So before I even go into this other question, Haifa, what's two-factor authentication?
That's when, can I give you an example?
Yep.
Instead of giving you a definition. Okay, so let's say you want to log into your email. Two-factor authentication would be the password that you put in, and then for me, since I have an Android, or I think it does this with all, but like if I'm logging into my Gmail, it will send like something that I have to click on my phone. So two-factor authentication, if I'm not mistaken, this is a definition, but it has to be something you know and something that's on you, like something that you have, like physically. I don't know if that definition is correct though, but I hope I explained it correctly.
Yeah, that's good enough. I mean, it's basically just more than one way of authenticating that it's you. So right, you got your password, and then you can have, like you just said, with your phone, maybe you have an authenticator token, maybe you have a smart card or something that like, or like an ID card, something that you have to plug in. There's all kinds of different ways to do two-factor authentication.
I was going over it because you know, it's asking for, you know, because we just went over a question about identification. So that's why I'm like, let me just ask that question because you might see that on the exam too, actually. So, okay, question number 11. What is the first step when performing proper incident response after an incident report has occurred? Take pictures of the incident, establish chain of custody, confirm that an incident happened, ensure proper documentation.
Confirm that the incident happened.
I'm going to say ensure proper documentation. Bring me back to my MSDS sheet. I don't know about this one.
Documentation would be like the last.
I'm gonna go with D as well. You want to make sure you note whatever you do, so you don't disturb. So that when you're actually investigating it, you don't go and investigate yourself.
So the only reason I'm not
someone ran this
picking-
application. And then you ran it.
Huh?
No, I'm saying like if you're analyzing it later, or somebody else is analyzing it, and then they're like, somebody ran this application on the software, and then it turns out that was just you just trying to do recovered information.
The only reason I'm going to say confirm that an incident happened is because it said first in italics, and this is A+. Otherwise, I would have chosen what you guys chose.
Yeah. I don't like this question. The way it is, I don't like it.
It says, what is the first step when performing proper incident response after the incident report has occurred? So it already occurred. It already happened. So got to read that question carefully.
I mean, to confirm that the incident has happened, that you're accusing somebody of lying that something happened.
The incident report has occurred already.
Because to me, it's not like really, oh, do this first. It's like do these steps, like in general, right? Like if I was doing it, I'd be ensuring that it's properly documented. But obviously, I'd ask, right? I'd figure out what happened, but then I'd also be establishing that chain of custody at the same time. Like there's no like first in my mind.
So let me defend my answer one more time.
Okay.
It said after an incident report has occurred, right? So that someone put in the report. Maybe my logic is completely wrong.
No, it makes sense.
So let's say Haifa had an incident and she sent in like an incident report to Kevin Diaz. How does Kevin Diaz know that
that it actually happened?
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying like insured. Again, like I don't know, maybe my logic doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I don't like that.
Go ahead, Kevin.
No, I was just gonna say I don't like the wording because what does that actually mean? Does that mean like ask the user? Yeah, like
Yeah.
does that mean like ask the user what happened? Like what?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. These
Look
questions,
at her.
the way they're
Who's
worded.
the pro now, you guys? Who's the pro now?
I was gonna say something ahead of Kevin clicking on it because IFA says something I was gonna put differently, but still similar. Because when I looked at the last part of the question where he says that how you respond to, I mean, you're now trying to go up. The incident has already been reported, and I'm looking at myself as the person trying to respond to it. So yes, I've been told, but I've not seen for myself. I mean, I want to go confirm, go see for myself that it's exact. Because I don't want to take. I'm not because I'm not trusting the person, but I'm probably
You want to confirm that it actually
yeah, to be
happened.
sure that exactly, yeah.
See,
So
the better
Femi,
way.
what I'm understanding from you is that you basically just plagiarized what I said. I'm just kidding.
No, I was.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
The better way for that question to have been worded is ask the user what happened. Like
Right.
inquire, like interview the user. That would have been the proper question to get you the right answer. But again, it's Comptia, and they don't want you to actually be able to pass the test. They want you to overthink it, so then you pick the wrong question, the wrong answer.
And when I took Comptia, and that was just my conclusion. Like, I would say maybe a quarter of the questions that were asked this way did not make sense to me, but I just gamble my way somehow.
Because when I see confirm, I think you're gonna go ahead and go actually look to see if something happened, if there's like something installed, and that's not what you would do. So that's why I just don't like the questions. I don't like them.
Can I ask you guys a random question before?
Yeah.
We go to the next question?
What's our favorite spirit animal?
Yes. And also what keyboard letter would you be? But I'm trying to find like really high quality images for my friend's wedding website. Does anyone have any recommendations for websites I can look at? Because Google sucks, and I know a lot of you do this kind of stuff.
Kevin, this is right up your alley, probably.
What are you trying to do?
I'm doing like my friend's wedding website, and I'm trying to find like really good images of things, like high quality images that are, I mean, I can pay for them. It's not a big deal, but if they're free, like why not?
You check Image Shack.
What is it called?
Image Shack.
Image Shack?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check that. Thank you.
CHACK.
Kevin, if you can hear us, you froze up, man.
Kevin froze up. Kevin's having Kevin looks like he's
he's giving us that evil eye with his hand in front going.
Yeah, he's doing the Matrix.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the camera back up.
Kevin's doing Kevin's Leo right now. Kevin's doing the Matrix with his hand. He's trying to stop bullets with his hand. That's what it looks like.
He looks serious too.
Yeah.
Look at that face. Only a face a mother could love right there.
Time to preserve information taught in law enforcement as well, right, Kevin? Yeah, exactly. All right. So question number 12. Why is establishing a chain of custody so important after responding to an incident? To preserve information, to adhere to EULA.
End user licensing agreement.
Yep. To follow security policy to ensure proper DRM.
Digital rights management.
But these are like once again dumb answers.
Hey, Kevin, you're frozen, man. It's funny. You might have to rejoin again.
It looks.
It looks funny.
Once I connect the camera up again, it'll work. Don't worry.
Wait. What is DRM?
Digital rights management.
It's when you let's say you would sell something, right? Like let's say you or like you buy something. Let's say on Amazon, right? You're watching a video on Amazon or on Netflix. You can't just download that. You can't just like you have to watch it on their site. So they have like the protection mechanism so that you can't steal it.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to explain.
So what do you guys think the answer is?
I'm thinking to follow security policy.
I agree with Femi. I'm plagiarizing Femi's answer.
That's the only one that makes sense. But again,
I do not like the question as well too.
These answers are dumb.
Yeah. like I said a while ago, my friend already thinks that Comptia is a crap anyway. So
Incorrect.
I'll take the blame, Kevin. I'll take the
To
Someone
preserve
said
information.
It's gonna be a watch. No, that what?
Vital to preserve information.
the vital preserve information to maintain the integrity of the collected evidence. If everything's not accurately and timely documented with switching hands, this could come under
Yeah.
attack and be thrown out on serious investigation.
That's true. But again, that answer. Why is it worded that way? Because you want to know if somebody, who has their hands on it, when they have their hands on the evidence, that kind of thing.
It's like we
You never
Don't you just love CompTIA and their answers?
Well, Kevin, because you were a cop. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I work for the police. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. But it's CompTIA answers. They wanted it their way. So that question is like, goddamn
It
questions.
annoys me because then people learn it this way because they're studying for the test, and then in the real world environment they're confused.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
didn't learn it right.
Yeah.
I'm not answering no questions no more. I'll be rooting for everybody else now.
Yeah, Femi's leaving the door now. No more answers from Femi. All right, question number 13. Which of these should not be done when dealing with a difficult customer? Avoid arguments, venting on social media, clarifying the issue, not seeming defensive. So you guys worked in IT customer service support, or at least how to deal with somebody in customer service, whether it's your family member, restaurant, or whatever. Just what do you guys think?
Venting on social media, but that's exactly what I do about my grandfather on here. So
I'll say 1, avoiding arguments.
should not be done when dealing with a difficult customer.
Should not be done. People are
You
saying
would not avoid arguments, Sir Stephen?
Avoiding arguments. You want to avoid an argument when you're dealing with the typical.
People are saying B.
No. It's saying which of these should not be done.
Yeah, B. But look again. Not be done, and then the question says not seeming offensive to trip you up. Like
These should not be done.
You're right,
They
because
really
that's a
need- they really
double
need to
negative
do
though.
They
But,
really
like-
need to redo these things.
That's a double negative.
All right.
Exactly.
These questions, man. No matter how difficult a client is, never post anything on social media about experience. It can reflect badly on your customer, even worse, your company.
But I already know that you're not even supposed to do that too, isn't it?
Oh my God, these questions are killing me. Oh boy, these questions.
We're gonna make our own exam.
Yeah, I'm going to make my own exam. These questions are killing me right now. I feel bad for anyone that has to take the A+ again. These questions are annoying.
And the worst part is, like, there are a lot of the new people, they get disappointed because they're like, I failed my test, so I can't get into IT, so I'm not smart enough to get into IT, that kind of thing. But then they don't realize that it's not their fault. Sometimes.
I'm so glad I did skills learning before I even I haven't taken the A+ yet, but before I even started studying for it.
But
Hey, guys.
the problem is not your knowledge now or otherwise. The problem is the way the questions. You have to question the questions basically.
Well, like for example, for me, I'm horrible at taking tests. That doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing. It just means I'm bad at taking tests. So when it comes to something like this, it's just being good at taking Comptia tests. That's how you pass the Comptia test. Being good at taking Comptia tests, which is a horrible thing.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next question.
Kevin,
Hmm.
do you
Hey.
think you can put taking Comptia test as a skill on your resume?
I like that.
I wouldn't recommend doing that. But
How you guys doing,
Imagine.
man?
Just like you're going down the skills and it's just taking Comptia test.
all right, next question. Which characteristic is more important than the others to exhibit when working with customers on an issue? All equally important: listening skills, positive attitude, proper language. Customer service.
One is
On an
off.
issue.
It was one is off.
What's this, paw?
You guys think?
As soon as A is not the answer, I quit.
Oh,
Says A.
I would
Which
say,
characteristic is more important than the other to exhibit when working with a customer on an issue?
Trick
I know,
question.
I know it says more important, but as soon as it's not A, I quit.
So you don't think it's D, it's proper language? Maybe you start speaking in French or Japanese, you know?
Oh, I thought they meant like cussing.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe listening skills, rather.
People are saying C. Some people are saying A in chat.
I think listening skills, unless proper language means like Arabic, English, French.
I mean, but why would one be more important than the other? Like, I mean, I don't
that's
know.
Like if you had to choose one, if you could only be one of these, which one would you be?
But why would one be more important? Like, I don't get it. Like, why would one be more important? They're all supposed to be. I don't know.
And Femi, ask yourself this question: if you were to be in a Windows 10 program, which program would you be? Nah, let me stop. That's my YouTube video question.
If
I
you were a
asked
domain
that.
controller, what Fismo role would you be?
That's
I'd be the
right.
task manager.
Here
I'd
we
be
go.
antivirus.
Hmm.
What?
A is right.
That's it.
Well,
Yeah,
read
yeah,
it,
yeah.
guys. Hold on a second. Read this a second. Listening skills. We need that, right? We need a positive attitude. We need proper language.
All equally
All
important.
equally important.
All the
Oh
bottom
my
ones.
God, you guys.
Read. You
Don't-
gotta
don't
read.
pick
Guys,
up the
wait,
phone
hold on.
and say,
I thought
"Yo,
all
what's your
equally
problem?"
important. No. All equally important. I thought they meant like all customers are equally important.
No.
No.
But you know, I would not have been surprised if that wasn't the answer.
We're
According
having that
to-
kind of day today.
Based on what I'm saying, I'd not have been surprised if that was not the answer.
You guys, and that's a skill to practice, by the way, picking up the phone. You can pretend you're picking up the phone and just have a conversation with yourself.
Yeah, you start, but you do it outside the house while people are looking at you to make you look
exactly.
strange.
In the park, you just sit in the park. You just say, "Hi, thank you for calling help desk.
Exactly.
My name is Kevin. How can I help you?"
Exactly. Yeah, you do it in the park, and like 1,000 people are staring at you. You know, it's a good idea. It's good practice. I'm just kidding.
And
No, but seriously, you would be surprised when you first pick up that phone. You're gonna like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna say this," but it won't come out how you think it's gonna come out because you're not used to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. All right. Next question.
Kevin,
Yeah.
I'm offended that you gave Nightbot my job.
what?
He
What?
knows what I'm talking about.
What?
You gave Nightbot my job.
Yeah,
now
that's what-
Nightbot tells people to join Discord.
Oh
It's
yeah,
my
that's
job.
what I ran. So I learned how to run commands with Nightbot, and I set it up that it does it automatically. No one has to do anything.
Yeah, her job got automated away. You gotta learn a new skill now.
She just got fired from her job because of automation.
He just doesn't want to pay me in pizza, you guys.
I thought it was candy.
No, not in my case. I only pay with food.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the next question. Question number 15. Why is it important to avoid using technical jargon or IT algorithm? You guys know what this is. Come on now. When speaking with clients about an issue. What do you guys think?
It's A. It's definitely A.
Acronyms, outdated acronyms.
It'll be D. D is in dog.
Customers' frame of reference.
You know what's ironical about that
Nothing
answer?
else, Matt. Nothing else makes sense on there.
Yeah. I'm sure you've had users that you wouldn't know what a user knows or doesn't, and suddenly they're trying to impress you.
Yeah.
You probably find yourself having to like break the rule and being like, okay, let's go with it then.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we're talking about. You start
think it's-
escalating like the difficulty.
I think it's D.
I don't understand what C means.
Yes, look at this. The majority of customers are not technical at all and may feel intimidated or lost if you use heavy nerd talk around them.
No,
like-
it's funny what I think it was Femi that said it, or who was it? Well, somebody. But
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
Nerd talk. Oh my god.
They start talking and they like pretend because they're like learning and they pretend they know what they're talking about. So you say something a little bit more advanced and then you get them stumped and they're just like, oh yeah. Like they pretend like they understand what you were saying.
Nerd talk. What does that even mean? Come on now. Why do we say nerd talk? Oh my god. Freaking questions.
I'm offended.
Always break things down to the simplest.
As a nerd, I'm offended.
Pretend you're talking to a child. That's the best advice.
I pretend I'm talking to myself. I'm just kidding. Let me stop. All right. So next question. Which of the following could be classified as a personal distraction when working with a client? Asking the customer multiple follow-up questions, listening carefully to the customer, illustrate the problem, working with coworkers to resolve the issue, taking a very important personal call. You guys think it's D?
See, I like these kind of questions because you can just read the first word and get the darn answer. Asking, listening, working, or taking. Without even reading the rest, I just picked B because the taking just makes sense. You know what I mean?
You said B like boy, Stephen?
No, D is in dog. Just reading that first thing, asking, listening, working. Don't even read anything else. Just look at
the verbs.
The first word even gives it away. A lot of these questions are like that. You don't even got to read the whole darn thing. It's
Stephen, but how about if the D had been taking notes while the customer? I'm just saying. I'm trying to be a spoiler.
So I have a question. What if, like, I don't know, you're helping a customer and your mom is in surgery and someone's going to call you when she comes out of surgery, but you're like helping this client. Can you let the client know that, hey, I'm sorry if I get this call, I really have to step away for a second?
I mean, you can if it's in a very thing, but normally I would.
If it's like, I'm saying if it's like an emergent, like
like an actual, it has to be like an actual emergency.
Yeah, you can probably do.
No. Like I mean an actual, and I'm not gonna like just call and be like, oh hey, how are you? I missed you.
Yeah, exactly. And move away from there. Move away from them. Don't let.
Yeah, you wouldn't take a phone call in front of them. You physically just move yourself to another location or another room or somewhere else. You wouldn't do it in front of them because that's kind of rude actually. So you would.
You say it before you start the session with them though, or whatever it is.
But you can't.
Like before you go to help them.
Because then they're going to be like, oh, do you not have time for me or something?
Yeah, exactly. You got to think about that stuff too. You should just take yourself off the call center for a while until you can get that important phone call that you're waiting for.
Or you can tell them you're going to look at something on the back end. Hey, let me check something on the back end. Let me call you right back.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. Hey, like, it would take 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's something you can do too.
So yeah, let me check. Your computer's having issues right now. It has to be something in the back end. Maybe I could log into your.
Let me check the domain controller. You know, like
there's
something up there.
I could probably log into
some
your
technical
computer.
jargon out there. Some nerd talk out there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that fall under like some kind of ethic violation of sorts, even if nobody knows? Because what I've done in that situation, and hopefully it's a situation where I'm not working virtually, or I have someone by me or one of my bosses, and I'm like, I just tell the user, excuse me quickly, and then I just go to them. And I'm like, oh, I have an emergency. Can someone take over my ticket? This is what's going on. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's basically that happens to me sometimes too, because I get phone calls from other people from other offices. So I literally would tell the user or the client or the person, tell them, I'm gonna look at this at the back end for you, so let me get back to you. And then I was like, the person that's calling me on the phone, I separate myself from the person in front of me. Can I give you a call back later? Because right now I'm working with someone right now. Can you call me back in 5 minutes or 10 minutes? That's basically what I do usually. So that's just me though. So.
But yeah, you never want to like say like, oh, I might get a call because some people are nice. Some people are
very sensitive and they want attention. They want attention. So if you don't give them the attention that they deserve or they want, if that makes sense, they get offended by you.
Exactly. It's kind of sad, but you kind of almost have to think the worst of people sometimes.
Mm-hmm. All right, next question. Michael is a new employee at the IT help desk where you work, and your boss has charged you with training him to be one of the best system administrators on the staff. Look at that. Sounds like a Steven question right here. Michael has been reading company documentation on best practices and ask you when would be the first step in standard troubleshooting theory. What will you tell him test the theory, develop an action plan, establish a probable cause, identify the problem.
I'm going with D on this one.
I think it's identify the problem. D. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I like that. Reminds me of the scientific process and all the other processes we learned in school.
This troubleshooting theory is true out there. I see a couple of videos already where this is solid, this is documented. This is how you should troubleshoot. If you're going to be a master troubleshooter, it is documented that you should follow these steps, and then you would be, I guess, a master troubleshooter in the world.
I'm gonna go with D. What do you guys think? Everyone's saying D in chat box.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're actually trying to do, how can you figure out what the solution is? See people struggling with that in Discord channels. They try to ask me a question and they don't even know what the problem is.
Yeah, exactly.
This is one of the questions I would guess, flag, and then come back to it. So if I'm taking a Comptia exam, I see something like this, I may think I know what the answer is. I would select it, flag it, and then come back.
So I wanted to quick question. Why would it not be the other way around? Like, okay, you're talking about identify the problem as the first step, right? But then how about, why would it not be establish a probable cause? Because you're trying to come up with the reasons why it's.
That's after.
How do you establish a probable cause?
You're after.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Why did the problem happen?
How would you establish a probable cause if you don't know what the problem first, what the problem is first? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
You want to identify the problem.
Right.
First.
I was reading it like I was French, so yeah.
Yeah, it gets a little confusing with some of these answers.
Yeah, troubleshooting is not very easy, guys. I mean, it is a art in all itself, all the skills that we have out there. If you are a really good troubleshooter, you can fix almost anything in this whole entire world.
You can become
there are steps.
Yeah, if you're good at troubleshooting in IT and you have strong analytical thinking, you might be able to fix other things that are not IT related. That's just the way it is. Like I don't have strong analytical thinking, but even though I kind of understand kind of it, I know how to fix my own boiler and everything, and my plumbing as well. And
I can't even fix a freaking toaster, so
heating as well. You know, it's because it's from working IT, from troubleshooting. So
yeah, exactly.
So I know it's not IT related, but you know, that's you get how it works and stuff like that. Where does it trigger the problem, if that makes sense?
And I think I even saw a real good video with Eli, the computer guy, on this one. He talked about for a whole hour all about troubleshooting, how to become a really good and all these steps. These steps are actually what he uses in the past. So they are tried and true throughout the years. So.
You got to learn how to troubleshoot your coffee. Why isn't it coming out right?
Exactly.
Kevtech, I'm beginning to think if you're able to troubleshoot your boiler, especially now that you have computers in all of those cars, you probably fix your car now.
No, I don't drive. I'm not
but
a
if
driver.
he did, he would also fix it too.
Yeah, I fixed a light on my dad's car, but I don't drive. So, all right, let's go with question number 18. A new trainee has been reading IT books as well as a company documentation, and has a question with which he needs your help. He wonders why he needs to document everything while troubleshooting and resolving issues. What do you tell him to ensure resolution processes are efficient, to comply with EULA because it's a company policy, to comply with OSHA? Didn't we just got over this?
This is another one with dumb answers. But
if you guys, because you guys seen my YouTube videos, so you know in my YouTube videos, just in general, you know, when you have a ticketing system, why would you do documentation when you close a ticket? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So good answer, I guess. I've had situations where I've had to go into the way the knowledge bases are set up, where from previous resolve situations like yours, you're able to get some kind of insight. And the other thing is, and I've only realized this in the last couple of months as well, how a lot more important it is than I think. sometimes a lot of times it saves you, and especially some other person that might want to follow up on whatever you might have done in terms of when you escalated the certain tickets. It helps a lot, especially when it's good documentation. And I mean, I've seen it and I know it. And sometimes it also helps me to go, especially when I need to go back on the tickets. When I document properly, it helps me as well. Because there's been situations where I've almost gone into a situation and I'm trying to remember the exact things I did. And documentation could include even pictures, and because I've done all kinds of things, and I'm beginning to see how important it is. So yeah, that's my answer basically.
Yeah, like if there was a question or an answer here that says to ensure proper SLA documentation, I would click on that one, but that's not here. You know, service level agreement.
For me, that's why I started taking a lot more notes, because there's been times where I fix something, I spend literally almost an hour looking for the solution, and then it comes up again like 2 months later, and then I didn't remember how I did it, so I have to do that hour research again, and then sometimes I don't even find the same answer because I forgot what I searched for exactly. So it's better to just have a problem, just document it, and then when it comes up again, you don't have to worry about it. You just go look it up. Oh yeah, here's a solution. Get it done really quickly.
And Kevin Diaz, the other thing I noticed that's working for me at least as well. In addition, I'm beginning to I have these notebooks now where I actually put them down into, and it's kind of, it just works for me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, same. I have like a note like thing. Like I have a folder full of notes just with a bunch of stuff, and in there I keep solutions to problems.
I have sticky notes on Outlook itself. So you know how you can put notes on Outlook? I put it on Outlook itself. So anything I need to log into or anything I need to set up, I put it in there, and I put passwords on everything.
You could use OneNote and Evernote too. OneNote you could share. Evernote, I've got an Evernote license, so my boss and I share like pages all the time.
Yeah, I have OneNote. I have OneNote, and I play around with that too.
Yeah, because I don't know every AS400 command out there. I gotta have an Evernote page.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you can't memorize those. So if you learn it, you play with it, but you're not gonna remember it. You're like, oh yeah, no, I got 100 on the test. Nah, give it 2 months. You're not gonna remember it.
Yeah, exactly. You guys think it's A then?
Yes, I think it's A.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. That answer makes sense.
I guess they're efficient and documented are the same word in Comptia world.
Yeah. Like I agree with it too, because I met a few people that are really bad with documentation, and I'm like, how do you fix it? It says you resolve the ticket, but there's no information here. I hate when people do that. It's happened to me. I don't know if it's happened to you guys, but when people put like no notes or anything and just say they fixed it.
And Kevin, that's the one that annoys me the most, because I'm looking at this ticket. I'm hoping it's going to help me out because it's supposed to be coming up when I try to go into the knowledge base, and all I see is ticket resolved, and I'm like, what do you mean by ticket resolved? Like, come on, man.
What's funny is like developers have to comment out all the steps. If you're looking at an application, they're told to comment out. So another developer comes to the project and sees what every step they're doing, but we don't do it as help desk sometimes. We're like, oh, I'll remember it.
All right, let's go to the next question. Fred is one of the junior help desk personnel at your company and asks for your help in reviewing troubleshooting theory. Since you have passed your Comptia A+ exam, he is troubleshooting a new customer issue and has established a likely cause, but he is not sure what step to take next. What should Fred do at this point? Test the theory, document findings, identify the problem, establish an action plan. I think.
See?
Yeah,
It's C, identify the problem.
right. Because obviously you have to identify before you try to test that theory to see if that.
I see B, I see A, I see B again. What do you guys think?
Document the findings. You're still trying to find out things anyway. So there's nothing to document yet. and establish an action plan.
I'm gonna say A, test a theory out.
I'm gonna say establish an action plan.
I don't think it's D.
Yeah, I'm like D as well for some reason.
You're a personal in reviewing a troubleshoot theory. Reviewing a troubleshoot theory. I think it's A. Tested theory.
I'm gonna go with A.
All right, here's why I said establish an action plan, because
Okay.
he's not sure what to take, what step to take next.
But Kevin, I think you missed something. You read just that part that says reviewing the troubleshooting theory. But if you look at the beginning, it's the entire troubleshoot. It looks like it's the entire troubleshooting process. Like, I mean, not taking as just the theory itself now. I mean, not looking at just testing the theory itself now. It's looking at, I think so. I don't know. It's looking at the entire process itself.
I agree with that.
Everyone,
Yes,
someone says D, someone says A.
And if you further look down, it says he's troubleshooting a new customer issue and he has established a likely cause, but he's not sure what the next step is. So, okay, he's established the cause. And if you go back to the previous question where I was thinking of identifying the problem as an answer, I mean, I wouldn't say that's the answer, but I'm just saying, like, test the theory.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with A too. Test the theory.
My thing
I'm
is
still going with D.
he's already troubleshooted it. Now
I'll go with D.
found out what it was. Now he has to go test his theory to make sure it's right.
I said A, so let's see.
If it's wrong.
Come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin.
I got it right.
Right.
There we go.
Steven, I ain't talking to you no more.
If you have a theory, test it.
You gotta test it. Why would you not test it?
Because you
Look
don't know
at
if
the
that's the
wording
answer.
of this stupid question. It
Yeah.
says, but he's not sure what step to take next.
Right.
So if you have identified the problem, let's say Outlook is the issue and it's not opening. So here are the action plans I'm going to take. Well, first thing I'm going to try is this, and then this, and then
So you're
this.
testing your
you
theory
already
out right
passed
there,
that
aren't
point.
you?
You're past that point. You already found the thing that you think is the problem. So
Aren't you
have-
testing your theory there, Haifa?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
What
it-
is
You
action plan
answered
for
your
it?
own question right there.
it said that he already identified the problem, so you gotta
Yeah,
test it.
yeah.
Now
You gotta
gotta
test it now.
somewhere on a test machine, see if it's right. If you want to really go back there and not look like an idiot in front of the darn customer,
If
going,
you
"No,
identi-
I didn't touch those."
But
Yeah.
didn't mention
No,
that
you're
you
right,
identified
you're
the problem, though.
Yeah, you would test it. What?
Yeah, if you
Okay,
identify
I'm
that,
done.
if you identify the problem already, now you gotta test it to see if it actually works. Does that make sense?
But Kevin, did he say anything about the fact that the problem had been identified already in the question?
Yeah, it said
Yes.
he already. It
One-
says that he
He
already
said
found
it. It said it. It already identified it. He's got. So the next step would be testing it. If you already identify it, you're gonna test it. Obviously, you're not gonna do something else. So the question, the wording
Yeah, why
of
would
it.
you make it? Why would you
wording
make
of
a
it.
plan if you haven't even tried your first?
You already
solution?
identified it.
Go over there to your grandfather. You're gonna probably need to test it first on your computer before you go all the way over there going, "I'm gonna try this." It doesn't work. Damn. All right. Well, we
Yeah,
got
that plan thing. No one actually does that either. Other Comptia things.
Yeah.
The wording was funky.
Yeah.
Welcome to A+ exams.
Imagine just sitting there making a plan. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm making a plan for this ticket. No.
A senior engineer at your company is working on a customer ticket and has established what he believes is the reason for the problem. While doing some research on the resolution, he comes up across a possible solution, immediately implements it, and closes the ticket. However, he appears to have missed a major step in troubleshooting theory. Which step did he miss? Conducting internal research, verifying system functionality, establishing a new theory, establishing a probable cause.
It should be B, because you still want to test whatever solutions you think you might have found, just to be sure that it actually works as it should be. It should work.
Yeah, because it just says he came across the possible solution and then
He
implemented it.
fixed it and closed the
But it-
ticket.
Yeah, exactly. So he didn't actually see, like he just said, oh, this is a solution, copy paste, and then close ticket. That's basically what this is trying to ask.
The way I look at that question is like if someone's having an IT issue and you close the ticket immediately because it's working now, and then you want to verify that it's actually working by actually following up with the user or the client after a couple of days. That's the way I look at the ticket. That's the way I look at it. You know, does that make sense?
That would be like you go to Google and it says, "Oh, set the DNS settings to 8.8.8." So then you set it, and then you don't actually check to see if it actually works.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think it's verifying. By the way, Kevin Diaz, I know I answered something stupid when that New York comes out of your.
I don't know what you're talking about.
After developing an action plan and implementing a solution, the next step is to actually verify the solution works. Additionally, you may want to implement preventive measures to ensure that the issue does not occur again. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense, guys? I think it does. Ooh, another question. These questions are going to get tricky with wording. Yeah, it's me, guys.
I think these are good questions because in all of studying between Haifa and all the other guys from job school, I'm sure he's not teaching this stuff in there. So it makes you guys think a little bit differently about, besides all the skill stuff. This is, stuff that you need a skill of too. So
you need to have implementation skills and also documentation skills and also customer service skills along with just doing technical stuff. These
are the soft skills.
Gives you a good balance, if that makes sense. You need to have a balance.
And Haifa, the way that you take notes, I'm sure your tickets are going to be filled up with a whole bunch of notes. Somebody's going to get sick of reading them after a while. The way that you take notes.
No, I wouldn't do that to people. I'll do that for myself, but I'm very concise when I write for people.
I see. Okay, question number 21. A user is trying to access the internet at a coffee shop. Before they are able to access the internet, a screen appears on which they must acknowledge which actions are permitted while on the coffee shop's network. What is this an example of? Non-disclosure agreement, regulatory and compliance policy, password policy, acceptable use policy. I think it's D. What do you guys think?
Yes, I think it's D too.
Yeah, and I have another question on top of this question. For those who were on that study session, I believe it was last week, what's the name of that page that actually opens up? Like, what's the actual name of that?
Give me a second, guys. I'll be back. Give me a second. I'm not gonna take the long answer to that question though.
Wait, what did you ask, Kevin Diaz?
Like the actual page. What's the actual name of the page that shows up? Not what's on it. What's the actual page called?
Yeah,
don't look at notes.
You said that.
I'm reading the question.
Oh no, this is separate from this.
Listen. I'm trying to see what you mean by what page. I'm like.
Like when you go to a coffee shop or like a hotel or McDonald's, you may have to accept that page.
Oh, terms of use.
You mean like the login page?
Yeah, but what's that whole thing called? What's the name?
Service agreement. It's
That's a good question, Kev. I forgot what that was.
What's the first letter?
D.
D.
D. Because we talked about it last week.
Is that just?
Is it an acronym or is it?
No,
no, it's not an acronym. It's a whole.
Oh, it's wait. I know what it is.
Declaration?
No. Oh crap! Hold on, it's my tongue.
No, it's not crap. She's really starting to think. Look at that, guys. She's holding her head like, wait a minute, I got it. I'm gonna Google it about 10 seconds. I don't know.
My hands are up here. I can't Google when my hands are up here. Like, what do you think I am? Like,
I don't know. You're probably using your toes or something. Who knows?
So
listen, I told you guys, I'm so honest when I cheat. Like, if I'm gonna look something up, I'll tell you.
What was the question? Kevin asked.
Somebody gave the answer in the chat, but so don't look over there. But what's the name of the page? Like of where you're gonna find this thing that they're talking about? Like, what's the whole name of the actual page?
Disclosure agreement. Disclosure, is it right?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I'm thinking of NDA. What's the second letter?
TA.
Is it an acronym or is it?
I don't know. It's a word. It's 2 words.
Disclosure.
Okay. How do you get to the Office 365 admin page? What's the link? What's the URL?
Portal.office.com.
What are the words in that? What are the words should have given you the hint?
Oh, domain portal?
Oh, it's called Captive Portal.
That doesn't start with a D.
I said C.
You said D, liar.
No, I said CA.
I wouldn't have guessed it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I thought you said D2. We have to rewind.
No, no, you have to rewind it because
Somebody rewind it on YouTube and please clarify.
Because I heard D like dog.
I think Kevtech, not Kevin Diaz said the wrong thing there. I said D2.
Yeah, excuse. No, but yeah, that's like that's what the technology is called that you use to implement.
All right, let's go to the next question. Help desk engineer needs to clean the inside of a computer because it has collected a lot of dust. What should this engineer use to clean the computer? Compressed air cleaning wipes, shop vacuum cleaning spray.
Obviously they don't have glasses cleaner, and that's the right answer. So this question, all of it is wrong.
I think it's what's it called? The compressed air, I guess.
Yeah, for me, it's compressed air. What do you guys think?
Nah, I'm gonna spray it with water. With the cleaning spray, I'm just gonna get it all drenched, and then it's just gonna fall off.
I mean,
I
yeah,
agree with
it's
Kevin
gonna
Diaz.
it's gonna be sparkling after that.
It's not cleaning wipes?
You never seen those people who on YouTube have videos where they're washing the computer with with soap and stuff?
Yeah, it's compressed air. Come on, guys. Everyone's saying compressed air in the chat box. It has to be compressed air.
You actually can do that, by the way, as long as you dry it completely out and you make sure that
You're kidding.
it's really dry. Yeah, you technically can do that on a PCB.
I'm not gonna try that.
Yeah, you can do that, but I typically
I recommend against it.
Typically, I would use a compressed air can and just spray over the device and clean it. Then the other way would be actually on the keyboard too, and all this other good stuff. Typically that's how I clean all my devices. So it's compressed air, obviously. So, well, it's gonna be interesting. I like this question. That's a good question. Someone said A. Yeah. Someone said fireproof vacuum. It's funny. Someone said anti-static vacuum.
I like Jeffrey's answer. He said fabuloso.
Which of the following would be a concern for business operating in the European Union? SOX, GDPR, PCI DSS, HIPAA. What do you guys think?
Hey, are policy questions even covered on the A+?
Yes.
Okay, they have, because I saw this and also CISA Plus, but they go more in depth. So
yeah, this is you guys should all know this because you see it all the time when you log into certain websites.
Yeah,
you get a warning about it.
Someone said
after this came out, you were also able.
HIPAA?
After this came out, you were also able to delete all your Google information, like all the information that Google stores on you. They were forced to give you access to delete it.
Oh wait, is this part of that documentary? Was this on that documentary about Facebook?
no, it's not this Snowden documentary stuff. This is European Union data protection laws that came into place a couple years back.
I have no idea what. Well, then it's definitely we can eliminate HIPAA because we know what HIPAA is.
What is it?
It's the healthcare one. I don't know the acronyms.
So what does it mean then if you say you know what it is?
HIPAA?
Yeah.
I don't know the letters, but I know that it's like the confidentiality agreement between you and like your healthcare provider.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically,
Why
that's as far as I would go in terms of knowing it, unless you worked at a place where you had to.
Why wouldn't it be PCI DSS? What the heck is that? People are saying it's GDPR. What is GDPR? What does that stand for?
I have to Google that. But I know the PCI one. I know that one is has to do with credit cards. It's a global thing that has to do with our credit card transactions and stuff.
Payment card industry data security standard. I think
I know that one.
What sucks?
Like the White Sox, the Red Sox, the baseball team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's for financial transactions and like ensuring financial compliance.
No, it's baseball players.
I have a question. What do they mean by European Union? Because I don't know. Is this like over in Europe?
Yeah, all of Europe.
All of Europe.
All of Europe.
All right.
They call themselves the European Union.
Not all of Europe.
It's
Not all of it.
Western Union.
True.
Yeah, Kev.
Countries that have the euro.
One thing I know for sure
I like
is
that.
What do you guys think? You think it's B?
Yeah, it's B.
Do we have anybody from Europe here?
It affects all of us because there's because the websites want to be able to operate in the EU, they have to implement that, which means we also reap the benefits of the GDPR.
Yeah. There's like a terms of agreement or like some sort of thing that pops up, and it tells you information about
Discord, for example. Discord is fully compliant with basically all of these privacy regulations.
Yeah,
Discord's GDPR, the California privacy law. All U.S. privacy laws.
Is that GD thing the same thing as HIPAA?
No,
HIPAA is health compliance.
Health compliance.
Right. GDPR
is that all over the entire world, or is that just here in America?
HIPAA is US. GDPR is EU, but a lot of US companies that have an interest in Europe, they actually follow GDPR.
They have to in order to operate in Europe. Otherwise, they wouldn't be allowed to give information.
Billions of dollars of fines.
And you've noticed the Europeans are a lot more stricter than here in the US as well. Yeah.
I mean, look
at exactly. Germany. But that also comes with its own problems too sometimes for the business.
This is a Kevin Rocks question right here. An engineer is searching for a Python script within the documents folder of a computer. Which file extension should the engineer search for? .bat, .sh, .js, .py.
I want Kevin to take this one.
We have Jerry that says C, I think it was, right? I think he said.
It's definitely none of the above. Come on, guys. This one is easy. Even if you've never done programming in your life, you should be able to guess this one.
This reminded me of the Python meme.
It has to be .py.
Yeah, I would say py, but I
would say py too.
Bat is was it a batch file? Is that what that is? It's a batch file, right?
Yeah. .bat is batch file. .sh isn't even a Windows thing. That's a Unix type thing. It's a shell script.
Bash shell
script. Basically
scripting.
the equivalent of batch script.
Where's .js?
.js is JavaScript.
JavaScript, that makes sense.
JavaScript.
Learn Python, automate your life.
Yeah, I do PowerShell at my job a little bit, not a lot. It's fun.
Yeah. So what's the extension for PowerShell, Kev?
PS1.
PS1.
Stop py.
It's py, right?
It's PS, isn't it? PowerShell.
It could be PS1. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. I think. I don't know. I don't know if PowerShell has a thing. It might actually matter, but for some languages, they don't really care about the extension sometimes.
I mean, if you're
wait,
going
.ps
into...
is actually PostScript file. How to look it up? PS1.
No, yeah, it is also PostScript.
So PostScript is like it's for vector graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah. So,
if you know,
does PowerShell still run it or no?
Oh no.
I know PS1 is the one that I know.
Yeah,
but I don't know
PS1 is PowerShell. Yeah.
If you do PS alone, I don't know if it'll still run it. Because I know with Bash, I can it doesn't even have to have .bat. .sh. It can be whatever you want as long as it's properly formatted, it'll run it.
I think. Can I ask you a question? I know I've seen something called Z. Like, is there a difference between that and Bash, for example?
ZSH?
No, I don't know if it's ZSH, but I just saw it written down as Z. I don't know if it's ZSH or something.
It was probably you're probably thinking about ZSH. ZSH is just a different show. It's just different. It's like it has the same functionalities, but it's done differently. It's programmed differently. It has different functions, different. It's like saying command prompt versus PowerShell kind of thing.
PowerShell, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's hard to explain without you actually using it.
Okay. Because the book I saw it written.
It's just a different developer, different. They have their own different rules and their different ways of doing things.
That makes sense now, because the book I saw that Z on was titled from Bash to Z. So yeah.
That's what it is. Right. Some people prefer ZSH to Bash, and ZSH is the default in Macs.
Like some people prefer Nano over Vim.
Ew.
Nano all day.
All right, next question. A new help desk employee at the company where you work asks you why he isn't able to telenet to any of the devices. You tell him that telenet isn't very secure. What option can be used as a secure replacement for telenet? FTP, SMTP, SSH, S-telenet.
I know what you're going to ask me, Stephen. What is each one of these acronyms?
Okay. So
File transfer protocol. I think SMT. I know it's for emails, but I think it's simple mail transfer protocol. I can't remember what the S is for.
Simple mail transfer
SSH
protocol, yeah.
is secure shell, and S-telnet is secure telnet, I think.
Stevie, now
is that even a thing? But is that even a thing? I've never heard of
I don't know.
S-telnet.
I never heard of that. I mean, unless there is something new out with it, I'm not sure.
I've never heard of that either.
Stevie, now that IFR knows your brain, you're in trouble.
I'm just trying to get her, to know the acronyms.
It helps so much. It helps.
Start spewing this stuff out at other people. She's gonna say, "You don't know this stuff." Here, I'll tell you what it really means.
It's just funny. She knows you so much now. Like,
of course, she just learned it.
I'm prepared for when he asks me questions. I think the answer is
what?
I think the answer is secure shell.
The answer is FTP.
Yes, file transfer
okay.
protocol.
S-telnet isn't a thing. That's not a thing. I looked it up. So.
Kevin, does telnet? What is telnet? Is that like an acronym for something?
No, it's just telnet.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting.
Kevin Diaz, I don't know if you actually looked it up because I didn't hear you typing. So
it says, I'm on a website. It says how to connect to telenet and S-telenet.
Don't look at the Hawaii article.
When I typed S-telnet, nothing showed up.
Scroll down and it'll show you SSH. I know what you want. You look at the Hawaii Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know which article you're looking at. I looked at it about 2 minutes ago. Scroll down, you see SSH.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't use telnet. It's 2020. Please don't, unless you have to.
I don't know. I never even heard of that. S-telenet. It's so weird. I never heard of that.
Well, Comptia will throw answers that are like not even remotely an issue. Like they'll throw something random just to throw you off.
Yeah. You earned 5 points. Yay. 100%. Nice.
except for that one question we got wrong 3 times.
Yeah, we got one question wrong 3 times. So technically it's like cheating. So we did get one wrong. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll do one more. Let's do security. We did security before? I don't think we have.
I don't think so.
Oh, this has viruses and stuff like. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be good.
No hablo inglés.
This is gonna be fun. Those questions were kind of policy procedure questions were kind of hard actually for some of us.
But they were pretty good. Like I actually totally enjoyed that. You know, I was working on the website and then I just kept coming back to this because it was like fun.
Yeah. A form of malware that has the ability to replicate without any intervention is referred to as botnet, crawler, Trojan horse, worm.
All right, I think so. I don't want to answer too many questions in this area, but what I would recommend is try to understand what the others are, so you can use process of elimination. So
I'm an expert, like
whatever you do know, just eliminate that, and then you'll be able to get that.
I'm an expert in this, just like Kevin Diaz, so I'm not going to answer any of these questions either.
No, you have to answer. You got no what is it? No excuse.
No pass.
Yeah.
So everyone keeps saying worm. What's a worm? If you guys keep saying worm, what's a worm? What is that?
It's the thing that's in the dirt.
It's a dance move from like the 80s.
You were like, what, 2 in the 80s, I think? How old are you in the 80s?
What's a botnet, guys?
I was born in 87.
It's a transformer. It's a bot. That's botnet.
That's connected to the network, right?
Yeah, it's a transformer that's connected to the network.
So basically, a botnet is you have a bunch of devices that you own. You don't own them. You hacked into them or something, or you could technically own them. They're called slave devices. So you hack them, and then they're under your control, and you can make that whole group of devices that you control do whatever you want. So you can say all of these devices go send packets to this server, and then you could do a DDoS type of attack, for example.
I used to struggle to remember how it differs from I think it's Trojan horse, or there's one other one like that, until I decided what I'll start doing using an analogy is the analogy of a mothership, where you could have slave ships coming off the motherships, and that kind of made it make more sense to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, and in Trojan horse, how can you remember that? Have you, if you guys know the old
the
old
novel?
myth,
the myth, the novel, yeah.
Yeah, well, when the Trojans gave the horse to I forgot what the
Isn't it a French or something like that? Like, or back in the Roman days where they was
Romans? I was gonna say Romans.
The
Romans,
Trojans,
I don't know shit about history though.
I forgot. I didn't read that book. I used the Spark notes,
So the reason I thought it was worm because I mean, if you think about it, like even worms, like I don't know if this is true, but when I was a kid, they used to tell me like if you cut a worm in half, it's just still gonna like stay alive.
Yeah, that's true because from my biology studies, yeah, that's true because once you cut them, yeah, they do replicate themselves. Yeah, they don't need no help.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I thought it was worm because of a dance movie. You know how they do the worm in WWE? So I thought it was a worm because of that.
But yeah, for that Trojan horse, just remember the Greek mythology story, where when the Trojans gave the hidden the
Greek?
horse. Yeah, isn't it?
Are you looking? Did you look it up?
No, I'm trying to remember because
Did you ever see Troy?
But they gave the horse to them, and they hid inside of the horse, and then they pushed the horse into the city, and then they popped out of the horse and killed them all.
The movie.
So it was the Greeks to the Romans.
There we go. I don't remember what the.
Yeah, and then they pieced it together. Yeah,
Greeks, wasn't it? Because they were fighting over Helen. That's all I remember.
Yeah,
because she was like the most beautiful woman or something like that.
Yeah.
I barely passed the class. No, I got an A. Never mind.
Let's go to the next question. While logged into your home office router, you notice an unusual high number of devices connected to your network. You only have 3 devices that need to be connected, but upon closer expansion, you notice a total of 6 devices connected. You suspect that your neighbor has somehow figured out the password to your router. Oh, that's not good. This is a new router and you just plugged it in and began using it yesterday. What important security step did you forget to complete when setting up the new home router? Change the default username and password, lock your router in a secure location, change the public IP address, download the new firmware. I think you need to change the public IP address. That's what I think it is. You know, I think it's either that or lock your router in a secure location. I think you need to lock it.
Hypothetically, one can use this knowledge of these things to get free Wi-Fi in certain places where you're not in your house, or maybe you moved into a new
I'm sure
place.
Kevin has done this already in the past.
Hypothetically,
around in his car.
Hypothetically, never done it.
So
well versed in this.
You think the answer is A, right, guys? Is it A?
It has to be.
Kevin D has been war driving or war chalking. Checking for
That's
free
probably,
Wi-Fi.
that's probably the next question you watch because we just talked about that.
no, it's because if you move into a new place, and you don't have internet yet, hypothetically, you could do this.
And he's probably pulling down gigabit connection.
I saw you schedule the AT&T guy to come the next day. You moved in after you moved in.
Yeah,
like
so
that morning.
I was in my house and I was trying to connect to Wi-Fi and it said Kev Rock Starbucks Wi-Fi and I'm not falling for that, so I didn't click on it. That's just me. But
Nah, I would replicate your Wi-Fi with your SSID, and then you're gonna be your phone is gonna disconnect. It's gonna connect to my Wi-Fi.
Rogue access point.
Exactly.
Man in the middle of the attack, he starts collecting all your traffic.
I'm gonna redirect
Never
everything
coming
to
to
go
New
to
York.
chai.com.
Kevin Diaz, you're not allowed in Maryland.
You're gonna go to google.com. It's gonna say chai.coffee every single time. Keep going there.
all right, next question. You just received a phone call from a client who was on the internet about to fill in information requesting personal account numbers and bank information. He states he receives an email from his bank informing him that his credit card number may have been compromised by security breach reported by a major hotel chain. He was directed to an official looking website that requests bank information, account numbers. What form of security threat is he facing? Ransom, Trojan horse, spoofing, phishing?
I love these phone calls too. They're the best.
You guys think?
What's this ransomware thing? Somebody explain that to me.
Ransomware is when.
Go ahead.
Shall I answer or?
No, go ahead. Go.
So from what I understand, ransomware is kind of like I kind of like take hold of files on your computer or your whole computer and literally ask you to pay me ransom for me to give it back to you. I know something like that happened a few years ago that it was like.
Not even a few years ago. It happens every day.
No. I'm talking about the really big one that happened like. I don't know if it was.
WannaCry.
Yeah, that one.
What's so we just went over Trojan horse. Do you think it's that one?
By the way, as far as ransomware, the university just paid $450K. Like I think it was yesterday or something, or it was this week for like their files. So, yeah.
But like, what?
People
Okay,
still
so
pay.
like yeah. Do people still pay?
Yeah, but a lot of people pay because they don't have backups and they don't want to lose their stuff.
Do they actually give them their files back?
Sometimes.
They fired
Exactly. So
They
like.
fired the CISO.
I actually haven't read the full story, but I doubt it. But if they did, then it'd just be another day.
Oh my god.
So what do you guys think the answer is? You think it's phishing or what?
Phishing.
So like you're fishing?
What's that?
Let's go fishing.
What's this spoofing thing? What's that about? Sounds like a ghost. Some kind of like you know what a ghost says?
I don't know how to fish.
What is spoofing? What is spoofing, by the way? What is that? What's spoofing?
So
I don't know if I'm wrong, so I'm not gonna guess.
So they're like in the.
No, you have to guess.
There are different types of phishing. There's like phishing was over voice with the V, smishing with the SMS. That's text message phishing. There's whaling, which is pretty much going after like CEOs and like targeted attacks. What else is out there? Spear phishing. There's multiple different types of phishing. So you'll start learning those over the years.
What's social engineering? No, what's social engineering?
Can you give me a sentence?
What is that?
Because I know what it is, but I can't remember.
What is social
I read
engineering?
it in a few. I think I read it on Reddit.
I want to like stand back here. So
just think about the name. Just think about what he's saying. Social engineering.
They
wanna
keep
say
saying, oh, like, thanks to social engineering, like this company got hacked into, or thanks to social engineering, like.
Yeah. So that was the
I
Twitter.
assume it's
That was the
something
Twitter
negative.
hack. Did you see what happened with that with the Twitter hack?
Oh, yeah. Social engineering. Wait, do you mean, is social engineering like the third-party application that,
No.
Nothing to do with applications.
What?
Huh?
So did you read that article about the Twitter hack? About what happened?
Yeah, no.
That
Yeah, but
17-year-old
but he wasn't, but it wasn't even a hack. It was like some guy who like knew someone on the inside and they kind of like.
But how did he know that person? How did he?
I don't know.
That's social engineering. Basically, you're just tricking somebody into convincing them to do something for you. That's the simplest way to put it.
Social, that they call that
research.
social engineering.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
You get
social,
a title
social, like
engineer.
people. Yeah.
No. It's like an action. Engineering as an action, not like a title.
Can you
And-
explain?
It's
Because-
like me calling you. Hi, if I'm calling you, right? Pretend you work IT support, right? Oh, no, you're a regular user. Let's pretend you're a regular user, right? And I pretend to be your IT support. I'm not actually the IT support that's calling you, but I'm actually a fake company pretending to be IT support. And I call you and I pretend I'm Microsoft, and I'm like, I need to get on your computer. I'm calling you from a foreign number, and I need to get on your computer. I need to do that right now, and I pretend to be something that I'm not, to get access to your system.
That's social engineering.
Yeah. It's a whole field of study.
Oh, okay.
It's just
then
called
I'm
that
gonna
way,
be a
you know?
social engineer.
It's another term for manipulation.
Screw all this.
You
Okay.
you should read Kevin Mitnick's book. He's one of the most famous social engineers. Kevin and then Mitnick, Mitnick. He has a few books. One of them is called The Art of Intrusion, and he talks about some of the things that he's done. He's done some
Art
really
of
big hacks.
intrusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Just look it up, you'll find it.
The greatest thing you could do to get into someone's system is if you actually use a person, you know, as the intruder, as the attack, you know, like you basically manipulate the person because you're actually calling and pretending to be somebody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it actually, that's very smart. I have a question though. Sorry, this is going to switch topics, but you guys asked what spoofing was, and so what's spoofing?
Ifer,
Hi.
do you mind if I quickly ask a question on that same line of thought?
How
before?
dare you? Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
Of course.
So there was something as you were discussing that I remembered, and I wanted to. My memory fails me. I'm trying to clarify if it falls under social engineering, because sometimes it looks like some of these terms have a fine line. So now, you know those situations where, I mean, not that you know, there's situations where someone sends an email to someone, and then they want you to click a link, and you think a lot of people know better not to click certain links, and maybe they end up clicking the link and filling up something, and then somehow the person that sends the link takes over their email address, and when they take over that email address, they send out, there's probably some emails that are not supposed to be out there. I mean, and then they end up sending it out to the world, and it gets to where it's not supposed to get to, and it becomes like a scandal. Wouldn't that fall under social engineering as well? I'm trying to remember where I read that.
Yeah, a little bit. It would, because you're credential stealing essentially. So like to give access, yeah. So there is some social engineering based on someone clicked on an email instead of thinking it was a legit email. So there was some sort of trust action there.
Established, yeah. So basically, something has to do with trust.
Yeah, someone's got to be a victim, you know. So someone's gonna be the fun dummy. You know, it happens. So that's why you have concepts like defense in depth, where you're layering multiple security products to protect your organization, you know, stuff like that.
Because like phishing, for example, still comes under email. It's just that in this case, they're not taking over your email address, to, somehow your password and stuff. It's just that you have to fill in all those bank details and stuff.
All right, so on to the next.
Yeah, or the next question.
What's spoofing?
Oh, so like spoofing is like where an email spoofing, you see where it's someone like pretends to be your email address and like pretty much duplicates you like where your email's coming from. That's
Okay.
a spoof.
Yeah, like we
you
get a
think
lot of that. You get a lot of that in my job. So like I have a senior managing director and he emails his admin assistant with a it's not even him, it's another email trying to pretend to be him, and you think it's him, but it's not him.
Oh, that's
It's basically just pretending to be somebody, assuming somebody's identity. That's the easiest.
Yeah.
But then you also you do have all those like IP spoofing, DNS spoofing, and
yeah, printer spoofing.
You just pretend to be the printer, pretend to be the DNS server, and then give them false information. So you think you're going to Google.com, but really I'm redirecting you to my website by spoofing the DNS records to see something else. Point to my website.
So there's a fine line still between phishing and spoofing. It's just that you'd have to figure out which goes for what.
No, phishing is the actual action of trying to get you to click on something or something like that, or like trying to get you to do something, you know. But the spoofing is actually the actual pretending part.
Yeah, they're pretending. Yeah, they're pretending. Yeah, it's a little confusing, but yeah, basically, what it is. Go to the next question. When someone is assigned only the rights and privileges necessary to do her job, this is referred to as a super user, principal of least privilege, administrator privilege, or control access.
I'm gonna go B.
What the heck's a super user? What is that?
Like the ultimate.
If I wishes she was a super user.
Sudo.
That's probably the sysadmin, the main sysadmin guy. Something, I don't know.
The only reason why I'm going to say B is because look, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 dash 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 dash. Are they giving you the answer, or is that just like a fake?
No,
I'm going to go with that.
That's fake.
Go with the answer.
The Comptia exam would just be a blank line or something. It won't be like, oh, how many words or how many letters.
I don't know why that's dash 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 dash.
Because they were too lazy to make it look like a
straight line.
There's 4 words in this one only, and there's 2 and 2 and 2. It's the only reason why I'm saying this B.
People are saying it's B, and some people are saying that it's D. So what do you think?
I think it's D. I've never heard of B, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
I heard of
But what
B.
does it? No.
So B does exist?
Think about it. Think about what it's saying. Think about the words.
Only the rights and privileges.
Of least privilege?
What does that mean? What does that like? You don't have to know. You don't have to have ever heard about it before. Just what do you think it means?
Like you get like the
controlled access,
the least privilege.
For what?
Basically, for whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so yeah, it's B.
What's controlled access mean then?
Oh, is it?
Like someone who has controlled access, like their access is controlled.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Like controlled access, so like limited to very, very specific things.
I am trying so hard to remember. I've never ever heard of control access until today, so I don't know. Yeah.
I heard of principal of least privilege before a long time ago, actually. So I was like, it has to be that one.
That's why you always have to. Yeah, even if you've never heard of it, you don't know if that's the answer. You can try to guess by kind of the wording of things, and you might be able to get the definition correct from that. Because sometimes these words are it's just logic, you know.
And we just went over this. This is funny.
Oh, sometimes you'll get the answer on a different question for another question.
Yeah, you do. You do get
So
the answer to a different question.
You guess, flag, and then come back. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to question.
So then we can all let Hazel answer this one solo.
Yeah, we let her answer this one. Let's go to the next question. So, while working on a help desk, you receive a phone call from a user who frantically tells you that she can't log in to her account because she has forgotten her password. Suppose the user is an imposter. What form of frantic activity is being used to obtain access to the system?
Social engineering.
It's not VPN?
It's VPN.
It's not lying. Maybe she's
lying.
Yeah,
I thought it could be lying, really.
Isn't she lying?
Unfortunately, I wish it was a word.
So what do you think? It's A? Iva? A?
Yeah, social engineering.
Kevtech, technically, I could fight over this and tell them. I mean, that's lying. Come on, man, that's lying.
No, but this is
It's
Comptia.
Comptia. It's Comptia we're talking about here.
It's Comptia. They want definitions from based on the book. You won't say lying.
They want you to pull out a dictionary in the test.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So they want those those answers, those CompTIA answers with the definition. So it would be A. So that's the reason why it would be A. So hopefully that makes sense. So also with social engineering. I want to go over some other ones, but I'll wait till the next questions. Hopefully they ask the question that I want to ask and see if it pops up here on this exam.
I like this one.
An administrator needs more security than is available with just a login and password on her mobile device and wants to add another layer of security. How can she accomplish this? By logging in on the hour, by adding multiple factor authentication, by requiring higher level password, or by encrypting log names?
A. It's definitely A.
Multi-factor authentication.
What?
Multi-factor authentication.
Didn't we just go over this? We did, right?
Yep. Yeah, we did. You asked Haifa, yeah. Haifa.
Haifa. Poor Haifa.
Haifa.
I'll get it eventually. Once Danish stops saying Haifa, I'll get it.
I know he's not. Just remember, Haifa.
Keep saying Haifa for some reason. I stopped doing that.
It's fine. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Huh?
What does it mean with like higher level password? Like, what does that even mean?
It doesn't even know what it's trying to say. Just some random, probably more complex password.
Yeah, more complex password with characters and letters and stuff like that. That's probably what it is. I don't know. I honestly do not know what kind of answer that is. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So, next question. Question number 7. One form of malware is disguised as an application that the users unwittingly download and run, which leads to a virus. This form of malware is referred to as
Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Phishing, Trojan horse, adware.
Remember that story. That's why I say remember the story, because if you know the story, you know what it is.
Yeah.
What's
easy.
What's adware? You guys ever worked with Windows XP and you had to troubleshoot adware for someone? Anyone?
No, you still got to troubleshoot in Windows 10 too.
I don't get it. I don't get it as much on Windows 10. But you guys ever seen it on adware where it pops up on the computer?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Very, very
Can
strange.
you refresh my memory?
It's in the name. Break up the name.
What, adware?
So like it's like malware that comes in adware.
Yeah. When women go on websites for their cooking recipes and their coupons, and they download all those stupid things, all of a sudden they get pop-ups galore.
Let's say
what my grandfather does.
You're downloading something and then you go and let's say it says install this toolbar for free, and then you press next, and then you forget to unclick it. There's actually a program that prevents that. It's called Unclicky. So if you have users that keep doing that, they keep accidentally installing adware, that can help a lot, because if they go to install an app and they have access to that, then that'll automatically uncheck a lot of the boxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get a bunch of dumb ads that pop up that's like call 1-800 blah 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 for this or that, or get a discount on that. It's really annoying.
I put the name in the chat for anybody that's interested.
Stupid ads,
Oh god.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Windows allows removable flash drives and external hard drives to be encrypted using a process referred to as FAT32 encryption XT. BitLocker to go. Removable devices cannot be encrypted.
I don't know this one. I never heard of BitLocker to go.
Yeah, it's BitLocker to go actually.
BitLocker to go, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of that one before.
I have.
I just look at it like your flash drive. You can move it around, and yeah, you can actually
No, it's definitely FAT32.
I feel like we just went over this. I went over FAT32 with Steven earlier today in the video when we talking about Mac and stuff like that. It's definitely not that.
File allocation table, 32-bit.
Mm-hmm. Save us this one.
Hey,
Yep.
what does NTFS mean? Hey, take a break from eating. What does NTFS mean? Look at her. She has stuff in her mouth. She has little things in her mouth right now. She's trying to
Eating.
swallow as fast as she can.
It's telegrams.
Teddygrams. You don't know what NTFS means? Don't Google it. Get your fingers off that Google button. All right.
NTFS is like the
What is it? What do the letters stand for? It's been around since the beginning, probably since you were born, almost.
Wait, tell me the first word.
New. Want to be in the second word too?
New transfer.
No. I'll give you the last letter. The S.
Security.
No. System.
I know what an NTFS is. It's you can save like it's when you format. You can either do FAT32 or NTFS.
What are those things? What are
Put
they?
in those things.
What do the letters mean?
You can format like when you're okay. I think this is what I studied in
What do the letters
A+, but I don't know what the letters mean.
Yeah, even I don't know what NT. Like I forget. I don't really memorize what NT actually stands for.
You
Format a
Those
drive
NT.
and you put
knowledge. Then the last two are easy. FS is what?
File system.
There you go. It's that simple. It's been around since what? 10, 15 years already. Everybody.
But I think, wasn't NTFS, isn't NTFS the one that you don't choose and you're supposed to choose
No.
FAT32? Or is it the other way around? NTFS is the one that you use and then FAT32 is the one that we don't use.
NTFS is Microsoft's proprietary file system for Windows. You need NTFS to install Windows.
Checking my notes.
I have a question on this. And I do not remember what that other one is called. That's I think you use it mostly in the server environment. It's I think it's REFS or something. Like I'm wondering what exactly is the difference between that and NTFS in the server environment.
There's just a lot of different file systems that have different benefits and features for certain types of work. It's hard. You can't just really just say this is used for this, used for that. They just have different features, different benefits, different downsides. So you just kind of have to choose the appropriate one for a task based on comparing what they do.
Textbook now. Look at her.
Because there's so many file systems. It's not even funny. Yeah, here in Windows you get these 4, but realistically there's way more than that.
Yeah, we got 4 in there. You see, I just plugged my flash drive.
XFAT on there. The XFAT. My God.
See that?
Yeah, XFAT is the new one. XFAT is what you want to be using.
Oh, XFAT's the new one?
XFAT is soon hopefully going to be supported so you can install Windows on it.
Oh, really?
I hope so.
Huh.
NTFS, just for
cameras.
people to know,
SD
NTFS
cards.
supports larger disk sizes, disk compression, encryption, disk quotas, permissions for files, and folders. Performance benefits from using, and so you basically like you get better performance with NTFS over FAT32. Where's the FAT32 one?
Also, FAT32 has a limit on how big you can make it.
You can partition, but you can partition your hard disk to have.
You can have FAT32 partitions, but there's certain sizes. There's certain
I know,
size
but you
limits.
wouldn't want to use it. And then with FAT32, wait, hold on. There was another thing. I think it's part of this. But with NTFS, when you're partitioning your hard drive, or your solid state drive, whatever it's called, isn't there an option that you can do if you format it in NTFS rather than FAT32? Like something about hold on, let me try to find this.
It's just different. They work differently. They have different features. NTFS has very specific Windows
Oh, the other
features.
Kevin. Diaz.
When you partition
I
it,
think we're wrong about that because I'm looking here. It says XFAT is a file system introduced by Microsoft in 2006. So it's old and optimized for flash memory such as USB flash drives and SD cards. XFAT was proprietary until the 29th of August 2019 when Microsoft published its specification. Microsoft owns the patents on several elements of the design.
No, it's been around. It's just new in terms of like it's relative to the other ones. It's new.
But I don't think I think they actually phased it out. So I think it's gone or they're phasing it out.
No.
Then it
It's getting bigger now. They even added Linux support for exFAT to be even more.
Let me see once here. I'm looking at now.
Are you calling me fat, Kevin? I like eating pizza. Come on.
Proprietary
Just kidding.
exFAT. exFAT can be used where NTFS is not feasible solution due to the structure overhead, but a greater file size limit than standard FAT32, 4 gigs is required. exFAT to default can be cards larger than 30. Are you sure, Kevin? Because I'm not seeing anything here about it being anything moving the latest. I think they're actually phasing this sucker out. I mean, the way that looks like here on this the
If they do, then that's on Microsoft then, because they were the ones who started pushing to put that into Linux kernel. I had support for that. So if they are, that's them just being really.
I mean, it looks like they're phasing this thing out. Like they don't care about it anymore. Get out of here. There's lots of stuff on it. Just from Wikipedia.
Look, Microsoft will do what Microsoft does, which is whatever they want and without caring about anybody else. Whatever makes them money.
So I was talking about a logical partition, and that doesn't have anything to. Does that have anything to do with what I was saying before that? Because I know that's part of master boot record, but doesn't FAT32 not do a logical partition? I give up.
File allocation tape? File with FAT32?
Yeah.
No, that's something else. That's something different.
Okay, master boot record. Completely
No. The master boot record is like that first partition is in FAT32. Yeah, usually.
Yeah,
But-
Kevin.
With Windows 10 anymore, the master boot record is no more. I think they're done away with it, right?
With Windows 10, it's UEFI, so that you have an EFI partition instead of thing. But that's still FAT32 as well.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you,
Because
Tessa.com.
the BIOS doesn't understand what NTFS is. That's
Femi, what happened? I think Femi wanted to ask something.
Yeah. I was listening carefully to Kevin, and because at some point I was confused too about that exFAT, and I'm not making this up. I know I've seen where they make it look as if the exFAT is still relevant with respect to Linux. I mean, I don't know anything Linux. I'm just trying to get into it. But then on the other end, they make it look like it's been depreciated when it comes with respect to Windows. So I'm kind of torn, and knowing Microsoft as I've come to know them, sometimes it looks like they're confused. I mean, is it old? Is it new? So I remember from what Kevin was saying, I know it's true. Yeah.
What they're doing is what they do. If it is that they don't care about it, that's probably why they open sourced it and allowed it to work on Linux as well, because they know they're probably going to stop supporting it at some point. And they're never going to remove it from the Windows, because Microsoft doesn't remove old features from Windows. They just leave it there for backwards compatibility. But if they don't support it, then that's just them pushing their own proprietary formats like NTFS or whatever they come up with next, so that you're forced to use those instead of using the stuff that they're adding in. Microsoft is a very weird company. They work in very weird ways.
Yeah.
They care about having complete control over everything and anything. They're very greedy.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to the next question, guys. We're gonna talk about this for 5 years. Let's go to the next question. All right. There was a question number 9. There was a feature of Windows prior to Windows 7 that would allow a CD, DVD, or thumb drive to automatically launch a program. Due to security issues, this feature was eliminated in the release since Windows 7. How is this feature disabled in Windows Vista? Launcher, disable auto run, INIT, auto execute, auto X, executable.
It has to be disable auto run.
Yeah, disable auto. Yeah, I remember that question. It's
gotta be that.
Yeah.
Disable auto run?
Yeah, I would like to think. Yeah, I think I'm confident enough.
Yay.
This is why you don't pick up random flash drives on the street and stuff.
That's what I do. Come on. No one else does that? Do that for a living.
You just don't buy a bunch of Amazon, just leave them in places where people can get out, pick them up.
Yeah, exactly. You pick
people's computers, wouldn't it?
You pick a hotspot. You pick a hotspot, Steven, and you drop a bunch of flash drives there, and then you hope for someone to pick it up.
Take them home, plug them in, get attached to their computer. There you go, Kev. I just give you a whole new business.
Yeah, there we go.
Be hacking. Not a bad deal there.
Yeah, good idea.
Might be $10 a pop.
Oh my God. Next question. It is necessary for Bill to leave his desk numeral times daily to attend to company matters. These absences are for periods of unpredictable length. In the past, he has forgotten to log out of his machine, leaving it vulnerable while he is away. As a system administrator, what can you do to prevent this security measure? Assign Bill a job that does not require him to leave his desk. Draft a new security document explaining the risk involved with leaving your computer on lock. Remind Bill of security issues and write him up if he continues to leave his desk while logged into the system. Set up a screensaver with a password that will activate when the system is idle for a certain period of time. I think it's D.
Screensaver.
What?
Okay, Haifa, like screensaver.
Screensaver.
What is that?
Can I? Okay.
I like the bottom one too.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah, do you want me to fly? You want me to dance?
Yeah. Well, so like, sometimes I look at that option about if the system has been idle for a certain period of time. But my thinking is always like, and I don't know why I think this way. Maybe I'm just odd.
We're all odd if you work IT. But yeah, what's up?
Yeah, like if you get up your desk, like what time is good enough time to be like, okay, he's gotten off in 2 seconds, so let it be 2 seconds. Because if it's gonna be set for say 5, let me say like a minute. A minute is enough. Even 30 seconds is enough for someone to get into the system that before it goes into that ideal state. So I don't know if it makes sense to you.
No, it would be 10 minutes or 15 minutes depending on the company. Because in order to get into the building, you have your own badge and everything. So it's going to be really hard for someone to actually do any of that. If that makes sense.
But if someone's already inside it?
That's not gonna happen. It's kind of hard to actually get someone to actually physically be in the office and hack the account because you have all these security measures in place before they even get into the office.
Yeah. How about if something fails and they don't get to know on time? At the same point, maybe some.
Too though, some protection is better than no protection. So.
By the way, something this really bothers me. Please, if you get off your desk, if you're gonna move somewhere,
just lock your computer.
Hit Windows L.
Yeah, lock it.
Windows plus L. That's all you need to remember. Always hit it.
You'd be amazed at how many users do not know how to do that. That is pretty wild.
I had one user that doesn't lock their computer, and I had another user that she puts sticky tab passwords on her monitor.
And especially as a help desk, you cannot be leaving your computer unlocked.
And I had to.
It's simple, but it's not. You still have access. You have access to things that people shouldn't have access to.
I had to correct the user, the person that kept doing that. They kept putting all their passwords as sticky notes on their desk, and I'm like, don't do that.
Hey, if you put things
like
that.
I looked at the password on the piece of paper on the table, and I looked. She had like 3 different passwords, so I was logging in as her, trying to see which one it was, and then I managed to figure out which one it was. And I got into her computer, and I'm like, well, why are you putting these passwords on your desk?
That's where policies come into place. Like if there's no like corporate policy of like don't have your password written down, or if you're leaving your computer, lock your computer, stuff like that'll help.
Yeah, we have policies and procedures, but some companies don't have that. So like in my job, we don't like. Well, in my job now, yeah, we do have that. In my other job, when I work for the MSP, because you're working as an MSP, those companies. Those companies itself, they have their own policies and procedures, so they don't have anything. So basically, I'm like, I had to correct the company as a whole because everyone will put their passwords on their table. And I'm like, don't do that,
But you know what ties me sometimes is even when you do all of this, you'll be shocked that it's maybe in some cases the higher ups that still do this anyways, policy or no policy.
Mm-hmm. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, and it's really annoying because they're probably the people with the most like to lose if somebody gets into their computer. So
like the C-suite's usually the biggest violators. CFO.
But you gotta remember too, they are also the oldest people that are working here, so they don't remember things like they used to do. So they got to write things down a lot more.
No. Yeah. That's why you get them on a password manager.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah, I just put my CEO on LastPass the other day. New CEO,
Nice.
LastPass, right?
Nice.
Full year. Here you go. Enjoy.
Oh, you can't remember them? Put them in here. Don't write them down because it's ridiculous. You walk into an office and you see that password, you're just like, come on, because I bet they've used that password for their personal accounts too.
That happened. That happened to me. Yeah, that happened to me. I was able to get on someone's computer, and I was able to get on their iPhone, and I was able to get on their Gmail account because they read it all on the table. I'm like, huh, okay. And then I grabbed all the pieces of paper and I threw it in the trash bin and I ripped it and shredded it. So.
Hypothetically, you did that, right? Yeah.
Huh?
Hypothetically, you got into their account.
Then there's people that have the password files on their
hypothetically, no, I actually did it just to prove a point.
No, you hypothetically got into their accounts.
Right.
I like D for this.
Unless they were there with you.
They were. Next question. Question number 11. You are a system administrator for a high school and responsible for 5 student computer labs. Oh, this is Kevin's question right here. You need to prevent students from accessing the system BIOS on the machines. What steps should you take to protect these settings? Assign a password to the system BIOS. Require lab aides to closely monitor student activity. Install a video surveillance camera. Remove the BIOS battery from the lab systems.
Let me tell you something.
I like the last one.
If you forget to do this, you're going to have a bad day because kids think they're funny and they'll go and do this for you if you didn't do it already.
They're smart is what they are.
Yes, they are.
It's gonna be a C, right? You put a video surveillance camera.
I like that one too, man.
No, I'm just kidding. It's gonna be A, right, guys?
It's gonna be A, yeah.
We literally have a computer that for whatever reason didn't have BIOS passwords, and somebody went in and set the BIOS password and the hard drive password, so now I can't do anything about it until I reflash the BIOS.
That's not good.
Kids are not dumb, man.
Always do it. These kids think they're funny.
Sometimes. They're freaking watching freaking Kevtech channel or the Kevin Diaz channel.
Exactly.
Hacking tips.
A job skills share,
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to get into the BIOS. I have. By the way, if you work in an IT company, you have a password in the BIOS. No matter what company you work in IT, they have a BIOS password. If they don't, then I don't know what's going on there. But.
And don't let people lie to you saying that if you set the BIOS password and you forget it, you can't reset it. That's the biggest lie. And I'm not just talking about desktops where you can just have the jumper pin. Even if you don't have a jumper pin, there's still a way to do it. You can still reflash the firmware onto the BIOS. If it's more advanced, it's more difficult, and sometimes it's not even possible with certain computers due to certain security things. You're getting scary. It's this lie that's told by textbooks saying that you can't do anything about it.
This is a question for Haifa right here.
Where's your dog at?
Which of these is a form of social engineering?
I'm not in the house.
Question 12. Which of one of these is a form of social engineering when an unauthorized person gains access to a controlled area by following in someone who has legitimate access? Tailgating, spying, shoulder surfing, hacking.
Tailgating.
I want to say tailgating because that makes sense.
It was one of my questions for Comptia.
So I have a question. What's let's say this is happening at the entrance of a building. What's something that a security team can implement to prevent this?
Badges.
But what if you scan in and then they follow you in at the same time, like right behind?
Yeah. So I'll go answer that from because Can I go ahead?
Go ahead for me. No.
You want to go? Okay. So I worked in New York City. Kevtech might know. You should know the Brooklyn Naval Yard area. There's the largest movies production studio there. So what we do is, which I know that's what a lot of companies do now as well, we have a security guy seated right by the door. He has in front of, we would have like a monitoring computer screen. So for everybody they would still scan their badge, but you want to see that, okay, as they're scanning, you're going to be seeing right on the computer the picture and everything, the person that's scanning, so that as soon as you see another person try to walk in, immediately you tell him no, or you stop them, basically.
Yeah, so that's one of the ways. Turnstiles, right? Prevents only one person at a time to go through a turnstile. Unless something else that you can do that's very common in addition to the turnstile is what's known as a man trap. So you have one door here, right? You scan in, walk in, or you walk in, and then you make sure that there's nobody there, and then you can walk in through the next door. So basically, you have two layers of like a little air trap kind of thing. So that make sure that you're the only person that can get in at one person at a time.
Yeah,
So that,
isn't that the thing about when the person that works in every other door is locked or something?
Yeah, it's usually because you don't. If you're alone, let's say there's an area, you can't have a security guard there. You want to make sure that the employees are trained to know how to
Make sure they're being followed.
Make sure they're not being followed. That somebody's not going to go and follow them in.
Unless you're Mr. Robot or something, you know.
Because you can't monitor every exit in big buildings. It's not possible. Like you guys know, here in New York City, it's almost impossible.
That's why if I have someone following me, I'm like, "Are you my best friend?" You know. Maybe it's a fan or celebrity. You don't know. You know, maybe somebody just wants to follow me from.
Well, yeah, Kevin has 7,000 subscribers now. Ain't nobody can talk to him.
It's like, are you following me? Or I just want to see I want to see a day of the life of Kevin, and you just follow me. I'm just kidding. All right, question number 13. To prevent network access to an unauthorized device based on its media access control address, which of these schemes could you incorporate on a home router? Passwords, port address translation, network address translation, MAC filtering.
And this is one of those things where the question gives you the answer.
Yeah, it does.
MAC filtering.
What?
But then it says network address. No, it's MAC filtering. I know it's MAC filtering. I'm not going to second guess myself.
Why?
Because it does it by does it by the MAC address.
What does it do?
And how long is the MAC
It
address?
doesn't. No. You're not gonna pull me. You've done ports. You've done acronyms. I'm not doing numbers of things. Not happening.
You should know what this is. This is a very.
No, I know what a MAC address is. Everything has a MAC address. Like your.
Right, but how long is the MAC address?
I don't know how long it is.
Come on, you should know this. You are a professional.
Yeah, but can I say something? So, like, isn't it kind of self-defeatist though when you consider the fact that someone could also snoop or something a MAC address and then just that way get in with that MAC address as if their own device is that exact device anyways.
Absolutely. That's why MAC address filtering is kind of silly. I mean, it was good at one point because we didn't have a lot of options, but MAC address filter. I mean, it's like an extra layer, but it's like, how to explain this?
Doesn't really do anything.
It doesn't do much because if I have your MAC address, I can just spoof it and connect anyways. So then instead, what we do is you have a radius server and then use WPA or something like that, and then use WPA2 Enterprise. So then people have to log in with their username and password, stuff like that, and then that way you have a better system of authentication.
Mm-hmm.
But in your opinion, is WPA2 isn't it going the way of all of those WP as well in terms of the fact that it's not as secure as
No. WP, WPA, WPA2. WPA don't use them. WPA2 is fine, but it can be hacked obviously. And WPA2 Enterprise relies on a server to authenticate you to. So
that one's better.
You can authenticate, let's say, with your Active Directory credentials to the network.
There's also a new one out, WPA3, by the way, just so
which has already been hacked too.
Is it?
There's no such thing as a
Stop
secure
hacking them,
system.
Kevin. Let them have a chance to come on out in the world first before you go.
Look, well, you just pick the thing that's going to give you the less risk. It's impossible to have a hack-free system. It's possible to have a secure system that's 100% secure.
One day there will be. One day when we're all dead and gone, there will be.
Yep.
Nah,
I mean, that's what gives it things like zero trust networks now.
the hackers will never die. I'm telling you.
That's true. Let's go to the next question. Question number 14. When purchasing applications from the App Store for an Apple iPhone, you know the application comes from untrusted site, trusted source, secure source, trusted provider.
We'll go D. I don't know.
Like, what's the difference between a source and a provider? A source, like, so if someone's providing you a service, listen, I'm just gonna talk this out, and you guys don't have to
Do it,
understand me
do
if
it.
you don't. But
I understand
okay,
what you're
so
saying.
a source is like, okay, like if I'm going to write an article, I'm gonna get sources, right? But a provider is me hiring someone to write that. It's basically a provider is like a service. So I'm gonna say trusted provider. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I think it's trusted source.
I'm gonna agree with Faith on this one.
I
I don't
think
know.
it's trusted source.
I don't know the answer, but I'm gonna agree with Faith.
Because a source, Kevin, when you think about it, a source is like,
Where's
Like
it
for
coming from?
newspaper, who's your source on the newspaper?
And let me
Yeah.
tell you. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I agree with Faith. Because when I download an app, I don't know who made that app. For all I know, Kevtech made a malicious app, and Apple, when they did their scanning, they didn't actually test it. So yeah, see, obviously it's trusted source because it's Comptia. But like,
I would have preferred there was no trusted provider there. Otherwise, I'd have gone with trusted source.
You know why I go with trusted source? You know why? Because I done Mac break and fix and Mac OS X, and on the NCMT exam it's called trusted source. And also,
don't get me wrong, by the way.
and also, if you know anything about Gatekeeper, I don't know if you knows what that is. Gatekeeper on Mac, when you allow certain things to download on the computer, if you go to Gatekeeper, it tells you there. It says, do you wanna
Oh, this
do
is a trusted source. You're right.
Trusted source
So,
on Gatekeeper. That's the reason
but
why
again,
I go
like,
with B.
if they hadn't
It
put
doesn't
trusted
say
provider,
it doesn't say trusted provider on Gatekeeper. It doesn't say that at all. It says trusted source on
you're
it.
right.
If you know
Yeah.
anything about Gatekeeper.
but in
You're
terms of like actually just splitting up, Faith's explanation makes perfect sense. But like, think about it.
Yeah.
The
If
App Store is
trusted
like- the
provider
App Store
wasn't
is-
there, I wouldn't have picked it.
The App Store is you trust the App Store. You trust what's on the App Store, but that doesn't mean I trust the developer, the actual source of where the application came from.
Yeah.
That's where I don't agree with that.
I
know that's the name, though.
I
I know
agree
that.
with you, but trusted provider is something that, so if you know Mac and you know Mac break and fix, and if you know about Gatekeeper, it says
You're right. I
trusted
remember
source
now
on
that you mentioned it.
Gatekeeper.
Yeah.
It says that, like, it says, do you want to allow this trusted source third party to download on the computer? And you check mark that, and you unlock, it's like the little lock. You unlock it, put your password in, and you lock it back, and then you're able to download the file.
Trusted source is what I assumed the answer was, but when Haven threw in that rebuttal, I have to agree with that one though. Like that's what it should have. That's what it should be like.
Like the wording. Like if you're gonna use like the wording, you should use like the proper like definition of the word.
If you didn't know,
they're not gonna do that though. They're not gonna do that. You know that now.
Because
come on now.
Comptia, yeah.
Comptia's not gonna do that.
Kevtech, the gatekeeper thing, is this something that's always been on Mac systems? Because again, I know you say you haven't dealt with Catalina, for example, like that.
It has it. I have it installed in my VM. It has it.
Catalina, right?
I have it on VM.
I think Gatekeeper has been on. I mean, I've had
a
a Mac for like 15 years. So
it's over 10 years.
Yeah,
it's been over 10 years. It's been around for a really long time. And I have it on a Catalina. I have it on a VM installed, and I practice with it. So you can't just download things on the fly. It won't let you do it.
But then there's another thing apart from Gatekeeper as well, I think, right? That comes with Mac, like extra security.
There's firewall, there's privacy vault, and there's ports and all this other stuff that comes with it.
Okay.
Bunch of Apple stuff. I don't want to hear about it.
All right, let's go to the next question. Yeah, Apple's a little different. Question number 15. You have a Salesforce that uses mobile phones provided by the company. Knowing that there is a secure data on the phones, which of these steps should be taken to prevent data loss if a device is stolen? Only allow use while on the company property, use voice recognition, configure the phone with a pattern screen lock, incorporate a BIOS password. I think it's this one. I think it's D.
You have a Salesforce that uses mobile phones provided by the company. I mean, if we're gonna do a basic step, we'd put like
best guess
pattern on the we put a pattern on the thing.
Lock.
Yeah, it should be.
You time it out too after so
but
many
that's so
failures.
dumb.
It should be B.
Yeah.
It should be C. You're not gonna use voice recognition.
No.
Allow users to only allow.
What if
use
someone's
while
traveling? What if someone's traveling for work? Like that doesn't make any sense. No.
What do you mean?
This is where you would eliminate the most stupid answers and
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh, this is
like
this
what's
is,
like the remaining one? All right, cool. That sounds great.
No. This is MDM. This is MDM. This is
Yeah,
mobile
it
device.
is MDM, but it's not saying there's MDM policy. It says like how do you
No,
prevent
but you
data
work-
loss?
You work
assuming
IT.
MDM. Yeah.
You work IT, so they assume that you know what MDM is. It's basically what it is.
Yeah, so like that's a policy on MDM. It's like you need a password, PIN
Password, yep.
number. Yeah, like
Yep.
there's
Yep.
so many different like MDMs.
And then what's something that you can do from within Office 365 or I don't know if Office 365 is what does it, but whatever thing you're I don't think
Intune?
Office 365 has it or Exchange
Intunes,
has
yeah.
it.
Is it
Company
Intune? There's like
portal.
Office 365.
Yeah,
like,
whichever
mobile device management.
mobile device management system you have. What's
Yeah.
something that you can do right after you found out that the device was stolen?
Oh, just remote wipe.
Remote
Exactly.
wipe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I've got all my employees on MDM, so I can remote wipe if someone loses a phone real quick.
Yeah.
Brandon, I don't know if you ever
use that.
introduced yourself, but what do you do?
Hey, I'm Brandon. I do IT for a food service distribution company in Atlanta. I'm
He's,
an
nice.
he's Spider-Man.
information technology security specialist.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
What kind of MDM do you deploy in your company, Mr. Brandon?
we use the Office 365 MDM because Intune, like there's different levels of licensing, like for Office 365 and then like Microsoft 365, two totally different levels. So we use the Office 365 MDM because it's a little bit cheaper. So all my employees are on E3 licenses, so it comes with MDM. So we use it for email policies. If someone wants email on their phone, they got to go through MDM, and you deploy the email profile from MDM on Apple and Android devices.
And then there's that Intuit thing that I keep hearing about. I mean, I've not seen it myself, but is there any other thing people use outside of Intuit, or I mean, is it just...
So Intunes allows you the ability to actually publish applications within it and actually allow the users to use applications when you download an MDM application like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook. You could actually embed stuff in it inside the container.
Yeah, with Intune you can get into like information policies and like seeing like and access control stuff like that. And so it gets pretty in depth after a while if you wanted to.
Yeah, there's all kinds of MDM software, not just for phones, but for laptops too.
I think there's a certification for like MDM specialist, like for
Yeah.
Microsoft too. Yeah, it's like a whole range of stuff you don't want to get into. It's all.
I agree with you. Yeah, and there's a 365 one, and there is Intunes, and then there's Moss 360, which is what I use. Then there is Mobile Iron Client, which is what I used in my previous job. And there's a bunch of different ones.
So then, Kevtech.
There's also the other one. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Octat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I
also
oh yeah,
G Suite has a built-in one
manage
with...
engine as well.
So the Intune stuff is only for mobile phones?
No.
No.
You can do it for laptops too.
You do it for laptops too.
You do have
Anything like mobile wise, right? Anything mobile wise?
Yeah.
Mobile device.
MDM means laptops, phones, iPads,
Overwatch.
Tablets.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Over Apple Watch, Apple Overwatch, the Apple MDM one, the Apple one. There's the Apple one. So.
Apple has. There's also Jamf that you can do stuff
Yeah.
with for.
Jamf.
Yeah,
There's so many different ones
right now. Jamf Pro, Rippling,
Yep.
Scale Fusion. Yeah, no,
Too many.
it's a lot out there.
Yeah, and if you're in a school environment, you're gonna have Chromebooks, and if you have G Suite, they have Chrome device management in there built in, and now you can also manage some Windows devices too. It's limited, but you can still do things.
Cool. Let's go to the next question. Question number 16. A client calls and informs you that he is using access point that incorporates WEP. WEP. He wants to know how he can safely use this. What should you tell him? He needs to update his access point to the newest WPA. He needs to disable the MAC filtering on his current access point. He can continue to use WEP because it is considered secure. He needs to replace his old access point with a new one that incorporates WPA too.
If you're using WEP, you're asking to be hacked.
Yeah,
Like you're literally
Well,
begging
I'm
the
sorry.
hackers to hack
Can
you.
someone explain what that is to me?
I'm sorry,
WP
I'm sorry, Haifa. Can you explain that to me?
No.
No, so like these are pretty much wireless security protocols. So it started with the WEP, wireless encryption protocol. That's what it stands for. Then
Okay.
Yeah, so like it was using, I think, was it 16-bit at the time for WEP?
Okay.
I want to know this. So, but now it's like you're going to WPA2 enterprise and different levels.
WEP and WPA, just don't use them. It's 2020.
Yeah.
Don't
So
use
wait,
them. I don't know why they're
so
optional.
WPA2,
Yeah, it's
would
WPA2
that be the
is a
answer
preference.
here?
Yeah.
I would say for CompTIA it would be D.
WPA, Wi-Fi protected access.
Or A probably also if it can be an answer if it was.
It was just that the only option
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Because that's to the newest WPA because the newest WPA is WPA 3, so
Yeah.
that could be an option.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, WEP and WPA don't use them
Mm-hmm.
unless you have a reason, which means that your devices are really old and they don't support stuff. But then you can just replace the Wi-Fi adapter sometimes. But...
Yeah, you need the access point and the device to be WPA 3 compliant. Or
yeah, so for example, like you remember the PSP, the little consoles? Those things only support up to WPA. They don't support WPA 2. So they can't do that encryption.
Yep. Go to the next question. Question number 17. What type of malware is typically installed with legitimate software and can report or log all your actions back to a malicious user? Worm, rootkit, spyware, Trojan horse.
Read the whole
in
question.
the beginning. Okay. What type of malware is typically installed with a legitimate software and can report or log all of your actions back to a malicious user? I wanted to say spyware, but now I kind of want to say rootkit.
What is that? What's a rootkit?
A rootkit is malware that is typically installed with legitimate software and can report all of it. I don't know, but it just sounds like it would be rootkit. Because spyware sounds like I know what spyware is, and I don't think it's advanced enough to like log all of your actions. No, doesn't spyware only do like your password, like not all of your actions? I don't know, man. I'm not into this.
So, what I do with rootkits for me, because at some point too, I had to come up with a way to try to remember exactly what it was. So I look at something that's rooted, like, because what rootkit does is it's like gets itself on that system. I think it's typical with Linux, if I recall yeah. So it roots itself, like it makes itself look like it's part of the operating system or something, or the files. So it's rooted, so it's difficult to detect it.
Okay.
Because it makes it so that I just choose the root paths to make it look like, oh, you know what it means when something is rooted into something. So that's the way I remember this explanation that I gave. Yeah, that's the way to look at it.
So my first answer was correct. Like my first guess for this was correct.
It's spyware.
But wait, why? So is there anything called a rootkit? Like I know what Femi just explained, but like
I know what a root canal is, but yeah, sorry.
Root canal, right? But like, is there malware that is rootkit? Like
yeah, rootkit is a thing. Rootkit, it's just it's what Femi said. It's deeply rooted into the system.
So what's the difference between that and like would rootkit not send like your logs?
A rootkit can be spyware, but that's not what it's asking.
Oh, it can be, but not.
A rootkit can be spyware, but that doesn't mean that spyware is.
Okay, it is. Okay. By the way, that's a really good explanation, Femi. Like the root, you just think about it in the root. I like that. I'll remember that.
Like if I can say that I can hide a rootkit, let's say like at the deepest levels of like the operating systems, you'll think it's just a regular Windows operation. But
yeah.
You know.
Hypothetically.
Go to the next question. Question number 18. Which of these technologies could be used to establish a VPN across the internet? Telnet, HTML, TCP, PPTP.
TCP.
What?
Oh, whoa. Okay. Heifa, what does HTML stand for? And this will answer your question. Go ahead. What does HTML stand for?
It's the thing that you write. I'm thinking.
No. What do the letters stand for?
What's the first letter?
H.
No shit. No. What's the first word?
Hyper.
Hypertext. something
Actually, IFA text.
language. Hyphatext.
IFA text.
I don't know what the M is.
Markup.
Markup.
And
then the L.
Okay.
Okay. And what does TCP stand
Language.
You do
Connection, transfer, something connection protocol. What? It's the safe one. UDP is the not safe.
This. The whole entire internet uses this. What is this
I
one?
know. It's TCP. I know what it is. I know what it does.
And don't say safe. That's not the correct word.
What is what's the name?
UDP is the unsafe, and TCP is the safe.
Don't use safe, unsafe. Don't say that. That's wrong.
What's the correct word?
Protocol.
Reliable, unreliable.
Reliable, unreliable. Why is that different?
Because it's different.
What does TCP stand?
Oh, because safe is different than reliable. Okay, fine. TCP is the reliable one. UDP is the unreliable.
What does TCP stand? What are the letters stand for? If I ask you this interview, and what does TCP stand for?
Yeah, that's an interview
protocol.
question.
Wait.
Huh?
You guys are gonna say it, and then I'm gonna get so pissed because I know what it is.
Keep it simple.
Transfer connection protocol.
Close. You use it every day of your life.
Computer protocol.
Oh.
Give me a hint. Which word is wrong?
Transfer control protocol.
Control protocol.
What does
whatever.
PPT stand? PP.
You need to know that. That's an actual interview.
Transfer control protocol.
What? Transmission control protocol.
Transmission.
Yes. You should know that. That's
Wait,
like
I'm
day
working
one.
on getting my I'm getting my
How about PPTP? You should know what that means too.
I don't know what that means. But TP
Point to
is transfer protocol.
Transfer protocol. Or not, I'm sorry, point to point tunneling protocol. Sorry, tunneling protocol.
Wait, can you tell me the TCP one again?
Transmission control protocol.
That's in your notes. It has to be.
That is.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but I'm putting
That's
it in like
protocol.
in the interview notes.
Hypertext markup language, telnet, and then PPT. I think it's point-to-point tunneling protocol. So, in the answer to this question, VPN uses what to establish a connection over the internet?
It uses the tunnel.
There you go. So it's in the name. So that has to be the answer.
Point-to-point tunneling protocol.
Got to be the answer.
Virtual private network.
See, by knowing the names, Hefa, you answered that just like that. Amazing. That's why you should know the acronym names. We use acronyms all the time.
I know.
I
That's
hate
why
that.
I'm learning them.
People have to start learning the names. Some of them don't mean anything, but some of them give you all the answers. Like, oh yeah, it's a tunneling protocol because VPN uses tunnels. Simple, dimple, boom, it's D, and you move on to the next question. But these things will help you in your test if you know all the acronyms.
Question: did you say it was transmission protocol for
Transmission control protocol?
No. For PPTP, is it also transmission or is it
No.
Tunneling protocol.
Tunneling. Okay, thank you.
Tunneling protocol.
Point to point. PPP.
Yeah.
Point to point.
T is for tunneling. Okay.
It's the only one with that many P's in its name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually that's actually an older protocol that's not really used that much anymore. But people still use it. It's an older one. It's been around a long time.
Right. Question number 19. This is considered a form of malware similar to phishing, but is targeting high-level corporate users. C phishing.
Somebody answer this like
Welling. Corporate espionage.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody give the answer to this.
Yeah, so I know that
Espionage.
you mentioned whaling previously, but I just wanted to refer to IFER especially. So what I do with the whaling one, what I use as my hate to memory is fishing. I look at it as FISH, like small fish, and whaling, the big fish are the big guns. That's how I just expect it. I do.
Okay, so it would be whaling.
Going back to the stories, just think about the story of
That's
Moby
deep
Dick.
sea fishing. Is that even a thing?
No.
I'm even surprised they even still have whaling yet, because that could be derogatory in these days. My God, like, is that even ethically even to say that?
No, it's like the story of Moby Dick.
Corporate
That's what it's
espionage.
I know, but you get it, you say you're whaling somebody at work or whatever. Whaling, what? That could be freaking a long different ways and more. I don't know.
Femi, I really like the way you remember things. It's similar to the way that I try to remember things.
So what's the answer? Is a D, corporate espionage?
Whaling.
I like corporate espionage better. I love that answer.
That's actually a thing.
I know.
Whaling's process to target high-level corporate users.
Corporate espionage involves like insider threats and insider attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, more Apple questions for Kevin. Yay! Kevin's just shaking his head. He's like, God damn.
When can we bankrupt Apple?
I'll let you know. Yeah, so the answer was whaling for anyone that missed it. So hopefully it makes sense. Question number 20. A client calls and tells you her iPhone was stolen and she is very concerned about the data stored on the phone being accessed. When asked, she informs you that the phone is running the latest OS. What advice can you give her? Is there a passcode enabled and its data is automatically encrypted? Call her phone and afford a reward to return the phone. Disable Touch ID on the phone to harden the device. Call Apple and order a new phone with the lost device discount.
Tell her she's SOL.
I think I'll call the phone and offer a reward for the person that stole it.
I know that acronym. SOL.
See if someone picks up, Kev.
Yeah, I actually have a question for Mr. Brandon. Maybe as soon as you.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So, with respect to C, and let me just say something quickly. I come from a medical background, basically, and I used to think that the way you have fingerprints, tongue prints, high prints, all kind of prints now. Yeah. Now, I used to think that it was a thing that this Touch ID thing and blah 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 was foolproof. I was shocked when I realized that the technology, and I may be wrong, but I've heard severally that it's still not accurate even as we speak. So that even if, for example, I think that I already have my fingerprints stored as me for the device, maybe peradventure someone else might just, maybe it could be 1 out of 1,000, 1 of 1,000,000, but there might be someone else that just somehow puts their thumb, whatever, on that touchpad of the Apple computer, for example, and it lets them in.
Well, you have to think about it. It can't capture your entire thumbprint. The thing is too small, and there's enough like that. That's why you have to be very careful. You only get a certain probability of a match of certain parameters, certain distances, certain sizes, certain shapes. But yeah, there's a very big possibility that somebody can have the same similar fingerprints that it can get you in, depending on how the technology is implemented. Because you don't want to make it so difficult for it to be accurate. Like you don't want the probability of it being accurate to be so high that half the time that you press a button it doesn't work. You want it that the second that you put your finger that it turns on. That's what Apple customers expect. That different companies don't want you to have to do it multiple times and wait 2 seconds or whatever. So they just take like the whatever set some low probability, like it'll say 80%, 70% match. So that could be similar to somebody else's fingerprint.
My fingerprint fails half the time anyways, like on my own device, like if I put my thumb like sideways a different way, it fails half the time. So that's why you have like a pin backup.
You know why it scares me? The way of course when we travel we have to do all those fingerprint things. I think in terms of how secure is all of these things if that's the case then.
Well, that's different because now when you travel like that, they use more than one fingerprint. They use multiple hands. They and then also now on top of that, it's reviewed by a person usually, sometimes more in depth in addition to the computer. So
yeah, and that
also there's more context that's involved with that than
There's like encryption.
The phone can't think for itself. A person can. A person can say, "There's no way that could have been this." Like if you see like a fingerprint in the bathroom and you never went into the bathroom, the person can know that. The computer won't be able to know that.
I think the best thing to see about the biometric thing, if anybody ever saw Family Guy, when Marge left and Peter had to go down about 10 stories below to see his porn like magazine, he goes to the very end and he walks through every single door. He gets scanned, all that biometric stuff. That's probably the best thing in the world to see what a biometric is like.
You guys think the answer is A?
I have a paper I'll post on Discord, by the way,
I
on
think
biometrics.
it's A.
Automatically encrypts data using the login assigned to the phone. As long as
Wish
the user
Apple would
doesn't
give a
have.
lost device discount.
Oh, we're done already. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
That was great.
What do you guys think? Is that fun?
I really liked it. That was great.
I think it made everybody think about different things instead of just a regular operating system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got an email from someone that they got a job in IT. I was like, oh,
Yay.
yeah.
Welcome to the ticket world.
Yeah, they don't want to join Discord. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's fine.
You know, my take home from things like this is beyond just the questions, it's just the other experiences shared or unshared, and other things that just come to mind that just had to some form of that reinforces certain knowledge of sorts. At least for me, that's my take home. Yeah.
My take home on this is grab the iPhone and throw it in the trash bin and get an Android and get a Windows 10 machine. That's just me though, you know. It's just me.
So like
So-
my
I'm gonna
biggest
have to
take,
agree.
yeah, my biggest take on this is like Comptia is gonna try to throw you for a loop. And every exam they've gone through, I've got 7 Comptia certifications now, and it's always a testing strategies, flagging, using your time management, stuff like that, and that will help you so much more than like just remembering knowledge. So just having those problem solving skills, that helps a lot.
Really cool. I think you wanted to go over something like LinkedIn or something like that.
Hmm?
What was the thing you wanted
Wait.
to go over?
1 second. Am I on mute?
That's
No, I'm not on mute. Yeah, let me open it. Sorry, I was working on the website. Hold on. I was gonna take us through like the LinkedIn. By the way, like I still want to do the like in-depth research about LinkedIn and how to optimize it, and then I think we can do it for a Saturday session, Kevin. If you don't mind, but like I need time to like do all my research and get all my answers. And,
No,
like,
that's fine. That's fine with me. It gives me time to rest. I'm gonna go eat probably. Anyone have any questions? I'm just gonna like open the floor to anyone. Femi, Femi, no questions on your login for computers, please. We know the computer's bad.
I'm gonna go ahead and.
Oh, yeah, what are you
open, That's a good question. I'm gonna go ahead and open LinkedIn, and then maybe we can discuss just for today. Maybe we can just go over like some of the courses, and since we have so many pros here, they can suggest like if like someone like me who's like still new in the field or whatever you want to call me, like if you can be like, oh, you know what, that looks like a good course for you to take. You know what I mean? Maybe we can pick top 3. Yeah, I'm just gonna share my screen and. We'll do this. Give me a second.
If you have like the LinkedIn learning stuff, yeah, just show it.
Yeah.
Hey, but I
One
think a
second.
great job for you would be a trainer.
A personal trainer?
Yes, you have the look, you have the voice, and the people would pay attention. And I think you'd be a great trainer. You do these things very well. You're always up to date on your stuff. Too bad there's not a job out there for you for doing that stuff. And you could train on what to show people's websites, to show people how to do stuff. I think.
Oh, that's what you mean.
That is a job.
I thought you meant personal trainer, and I was like, have you seen me eat?
There's definitely jobs for that around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, you see some of these videos. There's freaking older people older than dirt on there, but they're trying to teach young people. Doesn't make any sense. You got a nice, pleasant voice, and I think that you could.
Thank you.
You could do that job. And they would probably pay you very well. Companies probably pay you very well for that.
WP was telling me to maybe focus on a customer
relations.
Success specialist. So what I understand, maybe I'm wrong, but from what I understand, it's like you know how now I'm working on Squarespace and I'm like building a website for my best friend's engagement. But I'm doing it off a template. So WP was saying, well, instead of learning like all of the random things about help desk, why don't you go into a company and like they'll teach you how to use their product, and that way you're just specifically working on that product and helping people. And also like people who do that job also have different voices in the company, like I think the direction or something like that. Honestly, I forgot. My brain's not all here today. But do you guys know what that is? A customer success specialist?
Never heard of it.
Based on the name, it sounds like dealing with just customer service and
I want to do that
providing support.
care yoga. Care yoga fitness, and stretching at your desk. That's what I want to do.
I'm looking for the title. 1 second. Okay, customer support specialists and customer success roles. It doesn't require you to know a bunch of stuff. By the way, this is what WP said, so just to give them credit. Companies will teach you their product. If you look at job postings, you'll see what I mean. Basic technical skills, a desire to learn, great interpersonal skills.
There you go.
So yeah.
Start applying.
Products cover a variety of topics. You work with user experience, marketing, software engineers, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know. I wanted to put that out there just in case like someone's like overwhelmed with all the help desk stuff. Maybe they want to go into that. It's still IT related, but you're helping with like a specific product, and they'll teach you their product. It's not like you're gonna get a call about like. It's not like you're sitting at help desk and you're gonna get a random call about like, I don't know, RDPing into like, or Outlook or Word or Excel, you know, like, you know what the calls you're getting on is based on a specific product. Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. So now what we talked about yesterday is we would go through a few of these and maybe pick like top 3 for whoever has LinkedIn Premium, and maybe they can study that. Like if you're starting out and you're paying for premium, it's going to go on it's a filler on your resume, on your LinkedIn, profile. So why not do it? So here we have Windows 10, and I'll read them out, but like we need like input from the pros. I'm just reading them out. I don't know which to pick. Windows 10 troubleshooting for IT support, figure drawing. Nope. I don't know why this is like top pick for IFA. After Effects 2020 new features, Windows 10 update new features, Microsoft 365 essential training, ServiceNow basic administration, learning personal, I don't think that's important, SQL essential training, delivering an authentic elevator pitch. I don't know. Maybe that would be good for people who are interviewing and stuff like that. Presenting technical information with stories. That would be good for people who are interviewing. The 6 morning habits of high performers. Leveraging body language to communicate as a female. Do you guys see anything? Building a home? No. Kevtech has so many videos on this. And they're very thorough, so I wouldn't do that.
I would look at the Microsoft MD100 stuff.
Where are you?
Look up prepare for the Microsoft MD100.
On here?
Yeah, and it's not on your list, but like I have LinkedIn Learning as well. There's like there's 3 courses where it you pretty much goes deep dives into Windows 10. Yeah, there
This
you go,
one?
right there.
Okay, so would you do the first one? Prepare for the Microsoft MD100 exam.
Yeah, so like you're
Okay.
almost killing two birds with one stone. You're going through all the Windows stuff, and next you know, I might be ready to take the MD100 Microsoft exam. So if I want
Okay.
to. So
How about the this one, Microsoft 365 certification? Would that look good on your LinkedIn if you're applying for help desk jobs?
So
yeah,
what are these MD exams? Where are they just basically? What are they? It's just Windows? How to use Windows?
the Microsoft has a bunch of certification on all their platforms, but the MD100 is the newest version of the Windows 10, like the quote Windows 10 exam. So there's two MD100 and 101. This 101 is deploy. It's for the. So actually, let me share my screen. Let
One
me share
sec.
mine.
Yeah. I'll stop here.
So MD stands for what? Microsoft Deployment Exams?
Yeah, let me see.
Is that what it stands for?
Let's see, my throughput will be fine. Yeah, 3. There we go. So Microsoft has the Microsoft 365 certified modern desktop.
Desktop.
Yeah, so it's all desktop. So there's 2 exams it requires: the MD100, which is the Windows 10 exam, and the MD101, which is managing modern desktops. So pretty much it teaches you how to deploy Windows, like connect devices, maintain Windows, stuff like that. So if you're looking for a Windows environment stuff, that's probably good to have. I think this exam, I think is only like it's 165. I think there's discounts for college students though as well. So if you want to go that route, that's not too bad
Okay.
to have. I don't have it, but I sometimes wish I did. So,
Okay.
but I went to like the Comptia route. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna start studying for this is the MTA.
No, it's
MD 101. You said.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's this one. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between this one and the MTA?
MTA.
If you know.
Oh, I think MTA. I Google it.
I thought the MTA was retired because I don't understand.
It was like because MCSAs are retiring too, and they're renaming everything. So
yeah, how about all of those MCSAs, MCSEs? Because I get confused with what they're doing sometimes.
Yeah, where's the? Let me find the. They have a chart somewhere. Let me find it. Certifications overview. So there's fundamental sections of Microsoft Certified. That's Azure. Those are fundamentals, but we're looking at role based. Where is the? Let me find.
So WP on the YouTube chat saying MTA is the fundamental exam. Fundamentals exam.
Let me see if this one actually has it. Full poster. So these are modern desktop administrators. Yeah, that's a role-based certification based on like desktop administrators, stuff like that. So
okay.
You also have your Azure fundamentals, which goes into cloud technologies, stuff like that. So but that's for entry level. I would think desktop associate if you want to focus on Windows.
Okay.
But Comptia A+ always first in my book.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Everyone's like so pressed on Comptia. Maybe because it's always
because they are the most recognized ones.
It's vendor neutral.
Correct.
Yeah, it is vendor neutral.
I feel so intimidated to take that one. Like I'm down to take the MTA. I'm down to but Comptia just scares me.
But businesses know about those though, Haifa.
Yeah.
The whole entire world knows Comptia. You say Comptia, boom, you're in.
It's not a hard test.
It's just a buzzword. Everybody in the world knows Comptia. Nobody knows about this stuff. You got to be really focused in, and you're gonna get somebody like, oh yeah, sure. What does it really do? But you say Comptia A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, whatever they got. Oh, okay. Now we know what you're talking about, and we know what you study. So that's one of the base. These things are all fill-ins for later after you get the other stuff.
Yeah, here's how I did it. I only started 3 years ago doing CompTIA certs. So that's why I started the A+ when I was getting my associates in networking. at a local tech college. Started A+, so everyone can see that. Started A+. That's where your hardware software problem solving. Then I went to Network Plus, which is all my networking fundamentals. So when I passed Network Plus, that renewed my A+. Then that was 2018. I failed Network Plus one time in 2017 as well. So I took it a year later, passed it. Then I took Security Plus, Security Fundamentals. So that was in 2018. And also part of my bachelor's degree program, WGU, included Cloud Essentials and Project Plus, which is project management. And so so these are additional professional ones, but the Security Plus, once I passed that, renewed my Network Plus and A+. Then,
Okay.
so like this past February, I took CISA Plus and passed that. Then I passed Pentest Plus a couple months later before I started a master's degree program. So like these all renew each other. So instead of like trying to like pay CEUs, continuing education units, I just renewed by taking a higher level exam.
Okay.
So I'm missing CASP, but that's about it.
Do you mind if I share my screen really quickly?
Yeah,
because WP shared the link to the MTA stuff. Just so people have like an understanding. I understand that like Comptia is what it is in America. But MTA apparently is database, it's fundamentals. And then how do I do this? One second.
I'm not the biggest fan of those Microsoft certs. They're all right.
The only one I would pursue is like if you're going cloud technologies, look in the Azure.
The Azure.
If you're looking, if you're looking to like understand cloud technologies.
I did the fundamentals. I didn't take the thingy for it, the certification for it, but I did the class for it.
I mean, right now I'm going through the AWS certified cloud practitioner stuff, just so I can understand like AWS more and how to use it. And then I'm gonna take the exam. It's like $100. I'll take it from home maybe next week.
Okay.
So two things as well. Again, my fear, especially with all this MTA stuff, you see the way Cisco redid all of their certifications. I know for sure that like, because they had to eliminate the ICND 1 and 2 and stuff, so that you just do your CCNA. And so I think those companies are beginning to realize that all those fundamentals are like, what's the point? Because I know for real that it's almost gonna be a waste of time at some point if you're trying to do the MTA and because it looks like you're trying to get rid of that and redo some things. And that's on one hand. And the other hand, Mr. Brandon, I get this feeling that just as you said, you wish you'd done the Microsoft, I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, I wish I'd done like a desktop, like so I understand Windows 10 more and that. Like,
right. I get this feeling. Yeah, I get this feeling that you're thinking in terms of having a CCNA versus Comptia Network Plus, because now you're specific.
Yeah, if I went CCIE or CCNA, those are Cisco proprietary stuff. You're looking at CLI, but since I knew I wasn't going to be like a actual network Cisco networking engineer, I went Network Plus.
Right.
And WP
So
said
according
that
to
MTA doesn't expire. Maybe Hyphy wanted to say that. Doesn't expire.
WP says, MTA exam.
And I have to take those actually, to be honest with you. In
I
my
think
job,
I'm going to ease myself in and start with MTA.
I have to
just take A plus. You're already halfway there. You're more than halfway there. You're already there.
A plus scares me.
Why? You already have the knowledge.
You know,
everything we do here is A plus.
Exactly, Haifa. Come on, you can.
Because testout.com is so intimidating.
The MTA stuff is
the information on there, like that I learned from there, is so much.
You'll pass.
Imagine taking a Microsoft specific cert that you have to learn way more details than just A plus.
Have you looked at?
You already know other uses of the A.
Kevin, it's just like when I was going to take Comptia A plus, and I just looked at. I had a snippet of. I think they used to have like some fundamentals. I don't know if they still have it. Of Comptia used to have some kind of fundamental thing.
Yeah,
IT fundamentals. That's what
IT fundamentals.
Yeah, I took one look at it and I'm like, it's like regressing. Like if I'm going back to take an MTA and I have some, good knowledge, like why would I go take fundamentals?
Yeah, it's a waste of time and money.
It depends on the company too, because like when that certification, like A plus, like for example, like a company will pay you more money if you get that certification, or they'll pay for it, because you're basically doing something that makes you up to date, So depending on the company, obviously they'll pay you more if you get certified. Like an MSP, for example, they will pay you more money if you get certifications, you know.
Hell,
But no
Geek
fundamentals,
Squad
though.
sends you to get your A plus.
But yeah, like I would go for a higher level thing than going backwards, like Femi's saying.
So, yeah, like some companies they pay you more if you get certain certifications, you know. So,
There are practice exams out there that help you, like that are 90 question practice exams and give you like a pretty much scenario, like, hey, this is what the testing to look like. So there is plenty of practice options out there.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. You gonna say anything? Anything else? I think that was fun, right, Steven?
That was fun.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Hate to learn so much today. She's so much more knowledgeable than she was 4 hours ago. Look at her. She's smiling. She's eating that, whatever that is.
It's like a raisin bread thing. It's really
That was a
good.
croissant for a second.
See that?
I'm gonna order a salad. No pizza for me today.
Pizza for you. No pizza for you.
No pizza for me.
No pizza for you.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let
Thank
you
you,
guys.
Kevin.
I'm gonna let you guys go.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Brandon,
Thank
for
you,
joining.
Brandon. It's nice to meet
Later,
you.
Brandon. Kevin, pleasure as always.
I'll
Bye,
be back.
Femi.
Bye, bye.
Bye,
guys.
Shaquan.
Bye,
Bye,
Kevin. Bye, Steven. Bye.
All right,
Oh, to the love. Well, group hug. Oh. It's like the last scene of in like Santa Claus. Group hug. Everyone's coming in for the because we're all cool.
Kevtech, you gonna dance next week?
maybe not.
Finally.
Maybe not. You'll see something out of me. Maybe you'll see.
I just noticed this man has his router in his room, right next to his computer.
You're gonna end up locking it somewhere, like the question.
So if someone comes to my house trying to hack me or do something on my router, they're gonna have to go to my door. It's gonna be impossible for them to do anything.
You gonna place like an air filter or place it like an enclosure?
No. I'm gonna put a passcode on my phone and wipe my phone clean.
Oh boy.
And then he's gonna use the
Bye,
fireproof
bye,
vacuum.
Kevtech. I can deal with you no more. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Take care. You guys have a good weekend. All right.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye, everybody.
I'll be on Discord. Later.